apocalypse, Mr. Manheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
I take 2 steps forward, I'll take 2 steps back. We come together 'cause opposites attract, you know.
Oh yeah, welcome back, Bemmers. It's Starsight's Couch. This is James.
This is Mike.
This is my favorite song about a woman fucking a cartoon cat.
Yep.
It is a song about a grown woman who wants to have sex with a cartoon cat that likes to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, yeah, that is Shée. Yeah, and it was so successful. They made a record. He has a record, MC Scat Cat. He has his own album. I think it was called, Rolling Stone called it the most inessential album of the 90s.
Yeah. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ban this, so people know.
Yeah. If I have to pull that out,
That's
that was
true.
Yeah. Did anybody get why that was in there?
Yes.
That makes sense to anybody? You got it? You got the joke?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Well, I guess we'll see as we work our way through the story here. It'll make sense. I promise
Okay.
it'll make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome back. It's Darkseid's Couch. This is the part of the show before we start fighting with each other. This is the good part.
Mm-hmm.
Or the bad part, depending on your perspective. This is another Batman episode.
Yeah, we did it. We got through another 10 episodes.
230 episodes. I don't even
4
want
of them were Superman.
Four.
Yeah.
Well, so far this year, yeah, for the last 10, yeah, for sure. It's definitely a Batman Superman centric year thus far.
It
That's
has
the way I
been.
likes it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, they have the best zany Silver Age stories if you're gonna do zany Silver Age stories. And I'll say I enjoyed this so much. I kind of just want to get into it.
Yeah, right. And you didn't want to get to this.
Well, I didn't want to get to this because it's another Koala Batman episode, by which I mean it's another one of these stories where Batman steps in front of a ray.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally, that's what
He
happens.
steps in front of a ray, gets turned into a koala, has to figure out how to be a koala, and then he steps in front of the ray again and turns off being a koala. In fact, here, I'm going to play this little. I took a clip from last week. Listen to this little clip from the end of the show last week when we started talking about this comic. I would love to see some villains other than Joker or generic gangsters, and I don't think we're going to get either of those. I think we're going to get another mad scientist with a ray. Do we want to make any bets about how he becomes Zebra Batman? Is it a mad scientist with a ray that he stands in front of accidentally? Yep, and it was. Kind of. I was both completely right and pleasantly wrong. It's a little bit of a twist, but it absolutely... See, this is why I complain about the Koala Batman stories. It's not that they're not fun. It's that they have things like Batman accidentally standing in front of a ray because he doesn't know how to do his job properly in every fucking issue. That's the problem.
I love that we joke about the wheel being alive and like making conscious decisions.
Yes,
And,
joke.
and it'll fuck us over if we talk about anything in particular.
Yeah. Well, and
This
the
is like
thing
prime
that
example.
this was the most funny because the clip you didn't play
Yeah.
was James essentially going, God, I hope it's not another fucking Koala Batman story.
Yeah.
Followed by,
Specifically
within
Zebra.
45
I
seconds.
specifically said Zebra Batman. I hope it's not like the Zebra
did.
Batman shit.
Yeah. Within 45 seconds, it was that Zebra Batman shit.
Well, and I'll say-
exactly.
I was vaguely familiar with Zebra Man before, the character, vaguely. And I'd seen this cover before, but I never put two and two together they were related, and I probably should have. So I kind of got my wish here. This is a legit villain who wasn't the Joker for once. So this is a legitimate guy.
I'll get DMs on Twitter from people who accuse me of being in control of the wheel secretly.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, it's random. It's God.
There's
and they don't
Q,
believe me.
Yeah.
There's Q wheel people.
Hand to God.
Wow.
What
Like-
episode is it that we went against it and then we deemed it never again because
Once
the
in a
comic
while,
we picked was
yeah.
awful?
Once in a while, we stray from the light.
Was
and
was it Miss America? It was something really bad.
It might have been Miss America, because Miss America's definitely was a deliberate pick. That wasn't a wheel. We picked
Whenever
that
we
out, I
goose
think.
the wheel, we pay for it.
We
For
do.
sure.
Tremendously.
And then
But whenever we
get,
just go with it, it's great.
and then we get knocked back into place, and then eventually we kind of go off into the gutter again, and then we realize our mistake. We don't learn, just like actual Christians. We just kind of we follow the path for a while, and we fuck up, and God punishes us.
Yep.
That's mainly his job. Is just
Well, the only
punishing.
real Christian is me.
Shée was baptized, weren't you baptized?
I was baptized at 17, though.
The age of
I
17?
chose it.
Wow, you opt. Oh, that was you're in your God phase.
Wait a second. Wait, you became a Christian at 17?
I got baptized at 17.
17?
I wasn't raised religious in any way.
So why did you do it at 17?
Young life.
So wait, are you Christian now?
More agnostic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the safety
Weird.
net. That's the safety net. But and
Listen,
agnostic.
I will fully admit with my agnosticism,
Mm-hmm.
I was much more atheistic, and then my dad died,
Yeah.
and I suddenly
Oh,
became an
wow.
agnostic.
Wow, you're leaving the door open.
Yeah.
You're leaving the maybe, and you got the
Yeah.
baptism, so you get to have all your bases covered. Wow.
That's a pleasant. I didn't put two and two together there, but yes.
Well, now's
Oh,
a
you're
good time
realizing
to
this
hold
now.
on to that because right now we're probably in the age of the Antichrist.
Right. He's
Yeah.
probably around somewhere.
So it's good. Just have that in your back pocket.
So I'm okay just being kind of in
That's
my
me.
religion.
That's what I do.
I mean, I've got a couple candidates in my life that might be the Antichrist. I got a couple of maybes that we can put on the who's who board.
right?
A group of zebras can be called a herd, a zeal, or a dazzle.
Oh my God.
A dazzle of zebras.
Is this episode going to be full of zebra
No,
facts?
I only got a couple. I got
Will you
that.
space it out? Please space it out. I
I
just want.
really only have one more thing. Okay, you just have to
Oh.
remind me to do the one other thing.
Dazzle of zebras.
I
Fucking A,
desperately
dude.
want other
Look them
fucking
up.
zebra facts.
Oh
Look
my
'em up.
God!
I only
You
got
guys
one
are gonna
more.
Make me work. I'm
gonna-
making
I'm gonna
memes for this one.
Paste it to the end of my notes. God, I wrote like 3 pages of notes for this. I had a lot to say.
Yeah, damn right.
Put that to the end so I remember that. But it's not the best.
Oh, man.
Zebras.
Dazzle of
Fucking zebras.
Dazzle of zebras.
Dazzle of zebras.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Zebra.
That was great. Which one of you assholes did that? It was great.
That was James.
Oh, our voice got to merge the same way we do the Ray Romano voice.
Yes.
Zebra.
Which one
yeah.
of you is that? I don't
That's
have the
me.
window open.
It was me both times. All right. What the hell? Okay, so
Let's get to it.
this is Detective Comics issue 275 from 1960. A book called, the first book anyway, called The Zebra Batman, written by Billy Finger, art by Sheldon Moldoff and Charles Paris, with a Sheldon Moldoff cover here, not Dick Sprang like I originally thought.
Oh wait, Bill Finger.
Yeah, he wrote Batman for many years.
Is he credited in this
No.
or not?
At this time, nobody was credited. This was before. It wasn't until, Stan Lee gets the credit for it. I don't know if he actually did or not, but it wasn't until Stan Lee or someone at Marvel in the mid-'60s said we should start putting credits on there for who worked on it. So this is 1960. This is before really any comics were getting credited.
Just says Batman created by Bob Kane, that lying piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Oh, you just watched the documentary, and so
I
now you're
did
extra
just
fired
watched
up
it.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
Well, it does
Heartbreaking.
have he has his own unique, kind of style, much like how each zebra species has its own general stripe pattern.
Oh.
And each zebra has a unique stripe pattern.
Well, yeah. I would assume they don't all have the same stripe head pattern. How would they identify each other? How'd you know which zebra you were married to?
By
They're
how
all the
they
same
stink.
stripes.
Why
do
do you
they
think
get-
this fact has more than 2 sentences in front of me?
Do they get more stripes as they get older, like a tree trunk?
It does not say, again, it is 2 sentences.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right. So I want to get right into this.
Let's do it.
The science in this book veers from fairly believable to absolutely ludicrous on a page-by-page, sometimes panel-by-panel basis.
Mm-hmm.
We've got tiny little Dick Grayson Robin, who definitely looks like he was always a child, but he looks like a baby.
He looks like he got hit by that baby ray from that other Koala
Yeah.
Batman book we did about baby Batman.
Yeah, he looks like he stepped in front of the wrong Ray.
That's right. He
he's
got
very-
rayed.
He's very concerned because Batman is in a zebra pattern suit, and apparently this is a big problem around Gotham City.
He's got like pudgy baby arms.
Well, it's foreshortened. Like he's pointing kind of out to the camera, and so yeah, it gives him little pudgy arms. But he probably had baby fat anyway. He's like 12.
He
Like-
shouldn't be doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he shouldn't be ripped at 12. He should be a little pudgy.
Well, I was.
Yeah,
No, I wasn't.
it's Mike
All right,
and
little
Lil Hercules.
Hercules.
But
Yep,
my
Lil
son
Hercules.
will.
Well, and I've been listening to last podcast on the left has been doing a series about David Miscavige.
Oh, you've been listening.
James has gotten in my head about this because I said it one way and he said that I said it a different way originally.
just gaslighting
anyway.
you.
Point is, apparently he was one ripped little 9-year-old.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to start out strong if you're going to lead a cult.
Well, he had like asthma or something, and every time he'd have an asthma attack, his dad would send him out to the garage to work out.
Yeah.
So he got
Based.
crazy fucking buff.
Based. That's like what my dad would do.
Oh God, who do we like? Doc Savage's father.
Yeah.
Maybe
All
like-
the wonderfully based fathers out there.
So anyway, so this story, how do we get in that? Oh yeah, ripped babies. So anyway, this story opens up. We got a splash page of this another zebra costumed man who's not Batman,
No.
and he's knocking over a water tower
Yes.
to stop Batman and Robin from stopping him.
And this water tower is like old school Petticoat
it's all
Junction
wood.
style
Yeah.
wood.
And the Batmobile looks like it was designed by Homer Simpson.
Oh, it looks like the Homer. Yeah, the car built for
Oh,
Homer
it does.
with the long trunk in the front. Yeah,
And the bubble.
guess it's a hood.
He ruined his
Yeah.
brother Danny DeVito.
Yeah, love that. Well, in fairness, the Homer was probably based on this. That's probably what he was thinking of when he designed it.
Oh yeah.
And also, that was his brother's fucking fault. Like, everybody on his team was calling him and telling him, hey, this random guy shouldn't be designing the car, and he refused to listen to them.
They didn't even look at it.
Yeah,
He
and
just showcased it.
And
What an
they
idiot.
blamed Homer. Homer did nothing wrong. He said, I really don't know how to design a car, and he was forced to do it.
Right? He should have just got his
Stupid.
brother a job at his factory, and then that'd be the end of it.
Yeah, at the nuclear plant. That was dumb.
Dumb shit.
All right. Yeah, stupid. Anyway, so yeah, we open up with a story, and Batman and Robin are about to go on patrol.
Yep, getting ready for their date.
Yes. They really shouldn't see each other as they're getting ready. It's more fun if you just see each other
Like,
fully made up.
Yeah.
Right? It's like before a wedding.
Yeah.
Did you know, speaking of seeing, that zebras can't see orange?
How do
But
they know?
can see color.
How do they know? How do they know that?
One of the zebras told us.
Wait, no. You can absolutely know because I can't remember if it's the rods or the cones, but one of them are responsible for colors. And so actually, if you were to cut open an eye and look at it under a microscope, you can see which receptors they have for which colors.
Yeah, but doesn't your brain interpret that shit in different ways?
Well, there is still each color still has a wavelength that it exists on. How your brain interprets it,
well, a lot of
varies.
animals also just don't see color. It's like default is not.
So here's a really cool thing that I saw done in college, and I've tested it a few times on myself, and it's legit. If you take like a bunch of colored pencils, they're all identical except that the colors are different, and you hold them in your periphery, and you're looking forward, like you're looking dead forward, and you start bringing the pencil in from the side, and then you stop when you sense it, when you can see out of the corner of your eye without actually turning your eye, you can see that there's a pencil right there. You cannot identify the color. You can see it. You know it's there. But you can't identify the color because, again, I can't remember if it's rods or cones, but the receptors that tell black and white, those kick in because they're at the certain angle in your eye to kick in when you're seeing things out of the periphery of your vision. But you have to get closer to the center of your vision for the receptors that see color to kick in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's pretty crazy. Like it absolutely works. It's really, really weird. So
How many color cones do humans have?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
So I know there's like creatures in the sea that have like 50. They have like way more. They could see more colors than we could possibly imagine.
So can beetles. Beetles can see colors we don't
Why
know.
can't we just genetically engineer the humans to see these colors?
I don't know.
Why are we genetically engineering humans to be better?
Because puritanical Americans.
God damn, dude! I want to.
I think it's more, Mike, of why haven't you heard about us doing
I want to be
this?
gene spliced.
Think there's like a Dr. Moreau situation going on somewhere?
I
we just
want to
don't know
be a
about it?
panther man.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. I'd be okay with being a zebra man.
A zebra? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I like zebras. I think they're kind of cool.
Think about how big your dick would be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, you know what? I read that they say hung like a horse, but somebody did the math, and the relative to the size of the horse, like if you scale a horse down in terms of size and weight down to a human size, its penis is the equivalent of like 4 inches.
No, it's a big ass dick.
It's a big ass dick because it's a big ass animal.
Mm-hmm.
If you scale it down to like a 180-pound dude, it's not that big.
Yeah, I don't want to be a horseman though.
That's why I'd be a zebra man. Zebra takes all the best parts of the horse and gets rid of the bullshit.
Zebras
They have
are
cool
short.
stripes.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's right, James. You'd hate that.
Oh yeah, they
You'd
got
want
that
to be a
cool-
giraffe.
They range
that's
from
pretty cool.
3.6 feet to 5 feet.
Jeez, they are tiny, but they got cool mohawk.
Yeah, they
Like
do.
Yeah, and they endorse '90s bubblegum.
Yep.
Remember
Yeah,
Fruit
they do.
Stripes?
Oh, yeah, I made a meme about that. Remember?
Yeah, we did do Fruit Stripes before. Continuity. All right, so Batman and Robin intercept these guys at the Gotham Art Museum, and Zebra Man, who again is just a guy who's in a zebra outfit.
That's just what they call this. So they call him Zebra Man because he has a costume, but the costume looks like it's zebra stripe. It's because I have a feeling like because it's a static image we can't see, but the stripes are like moving like a
think they're
magnetic field
constantly
across
moving?
his body.
Well, it would make sense because that's what it is. We'll find out that's
Yes.
what it is. He's been like basically eradicated with electromagnetism, and it's just waving over his body.
Oh, and here's another example of a supervillain in a comic book where he has these fantastic abilities. He made this amazing scientific discovery, and he's using it to rob shit instead of
Right.
just selling the patent.
He could do this legit. He could make billions legit.
Because he created an anti-gravity device.
And
Yeah.
he is a new supervillain, which means he is aware of the Batman, and he has decided rather than try the whole sell the patent thing, I'm gonna risk Batman, and
Risk
I'm
his
going,
wrath.
yeah. And
Instead
I'm
of
gonna
fighting
do this.
Batman, he could talk to Bruce Wayne, who owns
Yeah.
a company.
Get some funding. Maybe he tried, and Bruce Wayne shot him down.
He's like, nah, that shit's lame.
That's dumb, bro. No, you got to wear that stupid costume. No, no way. Not doing that.
Yeah, right? And who is he to judge people about stupid costumes?
Well, he wears nice suits in the day as Bruce
He's
Wayne.
thinking about how cool his costume is. He's like, not stupid
Oh, he
at
doesn't.
all.
Maybe he doesn't want the competition.
Yeah,
I don't want a new suit on the scene. Show
Right?
me up.
Got all that Rorschach shit going on. You can't compete with that.
I will. There was actually, speaking of Rorschach, I saw an early sketch by Dave Gibbons. I think I actually have the book on my shelf over there. An early version of Rorschach. That Rorschach pattern was over his entire body at one point. It was like a skin suit. That was his entire body. Basically, Zebra Man.
Well, that's been cool.
It did not. I mean, it was a little cheesy, but it was an interesting thing to see.
I gave my copy of Watchmen to a girl I was sleeping with, and she never gave it back to me.
What a bitch.
Let's call her now.
And she
Yeah.
asked me if
Get
she
on the
has to
phone,
borrow
get
it
on the
too.
horn. Yeah. Was it one of the old? It wasn't a deluxe copy.
No,
Or
it was
an
like one of the.
absolute?
It was one of the mass-produced graphic
Oh, yeah,
novels
yeah, yeah,
that
that's the
everybody fucking
cheapies,
had. The
yeah.
big yellow one.
That's still mine. I think I still have the mass-produced basic one. I don't have the deluxe or the absolute or anything.
No, I had that one.
So yeah, his costume allows him to focus electromagnetic fields to repel things and open and cause force waves, basically, that can repel things or open doors or split open locks and things like that.
Yep.
All right? That's
Things
basically
that would
what's
be
going on.
really helpful for everything.
Yeah, it would win a lot of wars that way.
Yeah, would revolutionize how we do pretty much everything in our society.
Well, it's interesting because oh wait, hang on.
We live in a society.
Hey, all
It was on the
Nice.
other page. It's interesting because, well, I guess we'll see when Batman does it, but you would think when it becomes out of control and you can't control it, as we'll see Batman can't control it, he wouldn't even be able to stand on the ground. He'd be just bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. Why isn't he just like repelling from the earth in
I don't
general?
know. I imagine the Zebra Man isn't repelling from the earth because he's focusing it and he's not he's not letting that direction of the electromagnetic field have any force. But Batman isn't able to do that.
Yeah, he'd be launched into space.
He'd be all over the place.
Of course, that technology could have been used for space travel,
Yeah, would have been great.
which he could
Anyway.
have sold to the government.
All right. So Batman and Robin bust up this whole thing, and then Zebra Man uses his power to knock over a statue, and this almost kills Batman because, again, he's bad at his job.
Yeah, he's just not thinking about things. Well, he is endangering a child. Clearly, he's not thinking about things clearly.
He's thinking about how cool that suit is, and he got
He's
distracted.
like, look how cool I look as Batman. You think he like puts on the gray pants and then slides the blue underwear like over it?
Yes. There's
No,
actually...
I think it's connected.
Shane
I will
thinks it's
say...
connected.
Well, I will say, and I was reading a recent issue of Chip Zdarsky's current Batman run, and he actually takes the trunks off, and uses them as a mask because he doesn't have a mask.
The one
Well,
he
that's
put
his current costume.
so
That's
the
his
one
current
he
costume.
the put on the dog's head.
Yes, he takes it off.
Yes.
He takes it off, and he thinks he laughs to himself, and he thinks, "I told Clark that trunks were a good idea."
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyway, the crooks make their getaway, but Batman's still catching up. And this is when we see that Zebra Man knocks over the silo to try and knock him into a ditch. And
Yeah, he
succeeds.
doesn't. And they're just like, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah,
And
yes.
then they easily give up once again.
Well, we got to let him get away 2 or 3 times, and then we'll catch him. Don't worry
so
about
are Batman and Robin just waiting around for a tow truck now to get him out of the ditch?
Yeah, Alfred's towing service is gonna come by.
They're just like sitting around
How'd
outside.
they call him?
Like tractors are like driving by like slowly.
I think they had a phone in the car. They had the first mobile
What,
phone.
like the fucking OnStar commercial with
Yeah.
Keaton?
yeah, Batman's on starring.
Well, Superman we saw in Supermanuary. Superman has a satellite up in the air that just lets him to communicate with the Fortress of Solitude. So he probably
And-
hooked Batman up.
And he has a limousine.
Yes.
Yes.
He has
And
a
a top
limousine,
hat.
a top hat, and a cane. He looks
Yeah, it
great.
came with the limousine.
So
Free gift with purchase.
then we find out what's going on with the Zebra Man, and he's got his generic mafioso buddy who's working for him, and he asks, "What's going on? Why don't you explain this whole zebra costume thing?" Which I probably should have asked before I agreed to be your henchman.
Can you ask it like a mafia henchman though?
I don't know that I can. Hey, boss,
Hey, boss, what's up with this magnetic power thing
don't-
that you created?
don't get
Why
out
are
of his
you a
works.
criminal?
Ayo. Why aren't you a billionaire? Hey, and he chews on his toothpick
It says Zebra Man loots art museum for some reason.
because he doesn't understand the power of his own technology.
He's just like he like goes to like MIT, you know, because he's like a particle physicist, and he creates this electromagnetic machine that turns him into an electromagnetic man.
All right.
But he looks like a zebra, and he's just like, I know
Right.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rob some shit.
Now it's
Yeah.
interesting here because what happens is, he turns on a ray and he stands in front of the ray, and it says his body is charged with energy and it sends lines of force right through his costume. But I would just say it's a suit that amplifies and directs your body's natural electromagnetic fields. But I don't think we knew about that yet at the
How
time.
did he? So he built so he has a belt that allows him to control the electromagnetic waves that is emanating from his body.
Yeah.
Right. So he built the belt first. So like,
Yeah.
how did he
Yes.
know he would need a belt? How did he know his machine would turn him into an electromagnetic man? Like what? Because you got to experiment, right?
Right. He thought
I-
it would work. He'd worked out the bugs.
I got stuck on why he still goes with the name Zebra Man.
Because it's sick.
No, it's not.
What would you call him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Magneto.
Electro?
The Wave Man. I don't know. Or
No.
Wave Master.
Zebra
Yeah,
Man's
like-
pretty
Wave
cool.
Master.
Wave
That'd be like a
Master might've worked.
surfer.
Yeah.
The
Shred
Wave
some
Master,
more, bro.
bro.
He'll be the Wave Master. He'll trademark it, and then when the Surfer Hero shows up, he can sell the trademark for buku.
Well, I was going to
Okay.
squat on it.
The Wave Master is like an Aquaman villain.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
just
That's
sitting-
because there's Ocean
Orm.
Master.
and he's
Orm
a
the Wave
weed
Master.
dealer.
Yes. All right.
And like Aquaman's trying to stop him from selling dime bags to like burnouts on
Well,
the beach.
just because the burnouts of the beach, they throw the baggie in the water afterwards,
Say no to drugs.
or pollution at least. Don't
It's one of
litter in
those
the
really
ocean.
sad commercials where instead of seeing sea turtles stuck in, like the soda can rings, it's just sea turtles stoned out of their minds.
Yeah, right? He sees like the turtles are talking to him and they're all baked. He goes, Why
Yeah.
are you talking this way? And he says, It must be the work of the Wave Master.
Although I guess that is just that turtle from fucking Finding Nemo.
Yeah, right?
I
I've
don't know
never
the
seen
turtle. I don't know the turtle in Finding Nemo.
that. Yeah.
I've exhausted my pop culture knowledge.
Well, I'm guessing most of our audience does.
Great,
yeah, they-
good for them.
Yeah, our wonderful
You guys
audience.
explain it to him.
The audience that thinks I'm a liar.
Audience, explain Finding Nemo to the 40-year-old.
Shea, I'm going to tell you, if you dare complain about us going too slow in this comic now, you've lost all your rights to complain about the speed with which we're covering this story
You know,
now.
we could move it along with a sound effect.
Yeah, if I can find which page I put that on. This is why you don't want to have too many pages.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
There we go.
Yeah.
So anyway, Batman's talking to Commissioner Gordon and says, well, what are we going to do? We need a clue. Hey, one of the dudes, I knocked off his hat, and he's got a telltale gray streak in his black hair. And apparently Gotham City is small enough that there's only one criminal with a gray streak in his hair, and Gordon knows his name without having to look it up.
His name is Jay Leno.
Yes. His name is JoJo. All right.
Yep,
So-
and he has
Yeah.
bizarre adventures.
It's short for Jay Leno.
Oh, that's pretty close, actually.
They're like, look at this kick-ass dude with that streak of white through his hair. Look at this guy, Robin. Isn't he cool?
Here,
Look
join
at
up with
this.
the
Have you
Zebra
seen
Man over
this?
here.
Have
you
you-
seen
look
this?
at
Have you heard
this.
about the
Have
Zebra Man? Have you seen this? This is true. Zebra Man robbed the art museum.
So this is where this next section of the comic right here, right? Where I'm starting to wonder, like what Batman thinks he's fucking doing. Because here, so what happens is they ask around about the guy Jojo where he would be, and they say, well, oh yeah, he bought a boat called the Dolphin. So of course you're going to see a zebra riding a dolphin, but that's later.
Yeah, I love it.
And so like what they're doing is, so the zebra man on the boat is not committing a crime. What he's doing is he's using his electromagnetic powers to raise up a sunken ship that has gold bullions, right? That's called salvage, and that's a job, and people do that.
Right, and he did buy the boat. Now, he bought the boat with ill-gotten gains, but he still
so
did
what?
legal tender for the boat.
Yeah, fucking prove it.
Yeah, so he technically, I don't know that he necessarily broke any law. Maybe there are salvaging rights that he is bucking, but that's really sort of a maritime problem, not a law enforcement.
Here, like Batman just shows up and beats up this guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess
just doing a job.
we're assuming that this thing is like sunken treasure stuck in the ocean forever. It probably sunk
They may have sunk it
a
themselves.
day ago.
Sunked it. It occurs to me that JoJo could really help his criminal career if he just dyed his hair, but he doesn't want to lose that sexy gray streak.
Or wear a hat.
Yeah, no. Keep that streak. I'm right there with you, JoJo. Me and JoJo are going to rent a Cadillac and go on a Silver Fox tour together.
There's a panel where, like, in the top left corner here, where Batman just looks really, really bored and tired.
Well, he was just fighting the Joker and all these big time guys, and now he's got the zebra. You deal with a zebra man.
He's
Yeah.
just sick of being Batman.
Haha, same Batman.
He just takes off his cowl and sticks it on Robin's head.
I mean,
Walks away without saying shit.
I've seen enough celebrity musicians and entertainers backstage who go on stage with an incredible amount of enthusiasm, and the second they walk off stage, they light up a butt and they just can't stand it. So that shit happens.
Yeah.
Batman interrupts this whole thing. Arguably, Batman is the one committing the crimes right now, at least.
Like, Batman flies over him on a plane that a child is flying. And Batman just jumps out and lands on Zebra Man's shoulders, right? But then the next panel, his two goons just have him like held back, like they're holding his arms. Like, what happened in between those two things?
I don't know.
If you jump out of an airplane and land on a guy, that guy's dead.
Well, maybe the electromagnetic force softened the blow a little bit.
Wouldn't the electromagnetic force send Batman flying?
Well, no, because he's directing it. He's able to direct, but there's still probably a little bit coming off in every direction. It's just, he's trying to direct it out of his hands as much as possible.
Yeah, so here they got, they're holding back Batman because Batman can't defeat two guys.
Nope. Two fedora-wearing henchmen. He can't do it.
They're just holding his arms.
And so Zebra Man uses his force to repel Batman into the water, and then Robin, a child, comes by in a plane and rescues Batman.
But then Zebra Man hits them with a boat.
He pulls the entire boat out. Now this is a tremendous amount of power he's got. Like up to this point, he was just breaking doors and things. Now he's able to lift an entire barge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
impressive.
sunken ship, he lifts it up out of the ocean and smacks the bat plane.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Attempting to kill a child.
Well, luckily, as Batman explains, the Batplane's fuselage and contains pontoons, so that worked out okay.
What happened to this brilliant inventor where he went from trying to master the forces of existence to child murder?
It's a slow. Well, we're reading it. We're reading the slow decline.
They never tell you like who this guy is and how he invented this amazing device.
He tried to get into the salvage world and it didn't pay off.
Is he just like fuck them kids? Fuck this kid, this amazing pilot child.
Well, the best of us are also often the worst of us.
I guess so.
So Bam. Yeah, it's true. It's often true. So
people who do amazing things. Look at Justin Roiland, the creator of Rick and Morty, is a terrible person.
The greatest human who ever lived, except for that stuff he did. Batman and Robin are on their pontoons, and they actually mentioned that they're going to have to get picked up by a passing boat.
This is the second time that they had to get picked up.
These guys. Not as prepared as I would like them to be.
Their secret identity is fucked when the tow truck takes the Batmobile back to Bruce Wayne's house.
You still got to pay us. We did tow you.
Yeah, how'd they going to get the plane back?
Yeah, we might have to call the Zebra Man to get our plane out of the water.
They're like, why is he? It's just weird. Like, this cave is right below Wayne Manor. He goes, yeah, that's weird.
That's weird. Well, bye. See ya.
Yeah. Those are the guys Batman's killing.
I've seen that. I've seen different theories, and I think even some stories about how he built the Batcave and how he had to like pay people massive amounts of money to come in, excavate what he needed excavated, and then shut the hell up about it and never tell anyone. So there's a group of like immigrants out there, like Mexican immigrants, who know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
They're just not saying anything.
Yeah.
So Batman and Robin examine the scene of the crime, and they find a shoe print from one of the goons, and they see that there's sulfur on the mud on the shoe, and there's only one area that has sulfur in the mud. That was convenient.
I'd say really what would happen is they're trying to like do their detective work, but really what happens is the Coast Guard shows up and arrests them for attacking a salvage crew.
Yeah, causing millions of dollars worth of damage.
Right, none of that would have happened if they just left him alone. They're just salvaging his ship.
Child endangerment. Operating that plane. I'm sure that plane doesn't have a license.
Right, they crashed a plane.
Like you can't just fly a plane around. Like there needs to be clearance.
Yeah.
Like you got to get the okay on that.
Right. That's a bad idea.
You're not allowed to do that. No. So they find this area that has sulfur in the mud, and they see a cabin, and like that must be where the Zebra Man is. And sure enough, they're right.
Yeah, right. They got lucky, and then of course Batman. Walks
Speaking
in
of being
front of a
right,
ray.
I was entirely right. The same goofy bullshit.
Yeah.
See, this was still fun because it was 1960, but 5 more years of this shit,
He
every
just keeps-
issue,
He just keeps walking in front of rays.
he can't not walk in front of a ray. He just loves walking in front of rays and seeing what'll happen.
At least he's not a baby this time.
Yeah.
Of course, if he happened, luckily he didn't know 2 women that would try to raise him to be their sex object, like Superman when he turned into a baby.
When Superman
Oh,
was
I thought you were talking about Everybody Loves Raymond.
What?
Deborah! Does that happen? Did,
sexualizing me as a child.
did that happen and Everybody Loves Raymond?
All I remember is that she had bad PMS and beat him up. That's the only episode I remember.
I only know that because Mike talks about it several
That's
times.
an episode of
but it's-
Everyone Loves Raymond, I
that's
swear to
awesome.
God.
I should watch that episode. I should dig that up. I got a day to kill tomorrow, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Like
dig
he's
that
like
up.
terrified. She's just like screeching at him. He's like, Deborah, stop!
It used to be okay to show women abusing men on TV. Like there are Simpsons episodes. There's a Simpsons episode where Marge rapes Homer. Like
Yeah.
there's
She's Muscle Marge. And
she's
she rapes
Muscle
him.
Marge. She holds him down. She says, "Let's snuggle." Her code for sex. Homer says no, and she says, "I wasn't asking." And then we cut to Homer in the morning, traumatized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
That was only like 15 years ago too. It wasn't even
I
that
know.
long ago.
It's weird.
Homer's gotten raped a few times. He got raped by a
Yeah.
panda bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what a dark show.
And
at times.
Hank Hill was raped by a dolphin. Speaking of dolphins,
Speaking
Yeah.
of dolphins, it happens. It's happening to men. All right, it's happening out there.
right?
Hank
Well,
Hill
that's
got molested by that cop.
good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, it's glad. I'm glad people like Hank Hill and Terry Crews are finally talking about this stuff.
Yep.
It's
'Cause
happening.
you got him.
You gotta
Yeah.
talk about it. Doesn't matter how big you are. I've had random women grab my ass and think it was fine.
I love it though.
I had that happen to me when I was bussing tables when I was like 18 or something at an all-night diner, and a random woman comes up and grabs me, and it was like 10 years before I realized, oh wait, that wasn't acceptable. Like at the time, I was just thinking like, yep, I have to accept that because I'm a guy, and I could have, she was no threat to me. I'm a threat to her inherently by being a man, so there's no way that could have been sexual assault. Now I realize, oh no, that was fucked up. You can't do that.
I mean, whenever it happens to me, I just think to myself, I am irresistible to women.
Well, I think that's tempered a little bit by the fact that they're just like drunk, women out on the town, and they're not necessarily, they don't necessarily even know what they're doing.
Whatever.
So,
I'll take it.
if it's
I'll take all the
Was the
unwanted
woman drunk in the
advancements.
diner?
I believe she was drunk. Yeah, I think she was also walking behind the counter, which you're not allowed to do. Get
Drunk
out of
on
there.
your hot buns.
Yeah. They weren't as hot at the time. I look better now than I did then.
I was going to
Way better now.
motorboat your pecs.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so Batman's been hit by this ray. Now the lines of force are on his suit and also on his body, I guess. Like they're on his costume, but also on his body, which leads me to believe that, yeah, Mike's right, is that they're just kind of constantly
Moving.
throbbing.
Yeah.
Moving and throbbing they're on everything, except Batman's belt for some reason.
Some
Which
reason.
is hypnotic. Yeah, exactly. Like
Didn't affect his belt, didn't affect the bat symbol on his chest. Those are fine.
Yep.
But all the rest is all screwed up.
Well, you gotta know the difference.
I do?
Yeah, I mean the viewer, they did like the reader of the
Oh,
comic.
you got to be
like,
able to distinguish.
Yeah, distinguish. Like one's Batman, one's the Zebra Man.
So Zebra thinks this is hysterical. This is fine because Batman has no control. The machine has been smashed. Batman has no control over his powers. He doesn't have the controlling belt.
Right.
Yeah, because now they are of the same charge, so they repel each other.
So they repel each other, which makes them
Like
physically
magnets.
impossible to
Yeah,
capture.
magnets. Yeah.
Just like magnets. So then Batman walks around to Robin and goes, "Hey, look at this!" And and things are just flying away. Trees are being uprooted and flying away.
Yeah, Robin's glad because now Bruce Wayne can't molest him anymore.
So he can't even get close.
He just turns and realizes this is his like chance to.
Oh, he
escape.
just runs.
He's like he'll starve to death now.
And that is the thing. He runs down. So Batman runs down all the terrible things that are going to happen as a result of
He
this.
has a panic attack.
He does. He freaks out. He imagines Robin trying to bring him a lovely turkey dinner with all the trimmings, and it just goes flying across a field.
Yeah, he's like, "Come back, turkey! Come back!"
I want the turkey so much.
I thought it was chicken.
It could be chicken.
It could be chicken. It could be turkey. I don't know. It looks delicious, though.
He just like I love it. He like thinks about he could take off his own costume, but then he can't walk around as Bruce Wayne because they'll know that Batman is the zebra.
There's only
Batman.
two zebra people. There's the zebra man and there's Batman.
Yeah, and he's walking around, and then like families run away from him.
Now, he's worried about being shunned, but he's already noted that he won't even be able to eat. So he's going to be dead in a few days regardless. It seems like it's a bigger problem than not being able to fuck.
Like 2 months.
2 months without any food or water.
He'll die of dehydration before he dies of starvation.
In like maybe a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With water.
It's Bruce Wayne, so maybe he can stretch it out to like 9 days, but he's
You can
dead.
go a super long time without eating.
You can go a while without eating. I don't know how long, but you can't go that long without water.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, how's he even able to walk on the ground? Doesn't
Right.
really make sense here.
He should be at least the distance above the ground.
Oh
That it
shit!
would be from anyone to be around him. Right?
Yeah.
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 He's just flopping around in the sky. Yeah.
That's how it always is with like people who like in like these stories where it's like people like can walk through walls and shit. It's like, why aren't you just going to the center of the earth?
Yeah.
They never
Oh yeah.
think
Why
about
don't you
that
just,
shit.
you want to just slide through?
Why
Yeah.
don't you
yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
never
would
think about that.
Yeah. There
That,
needs
that
to be a
happened
certain
in
amount of-
they did do that in an episode of Batman Beyond where there was a guy who could go through stuff, but like it became too powerful and he just fell to the center of the earth.
You just got to establish that's an issue of focus. Like you actually have to focus and concentrate on that. But yeah. Otherwise, you would just slide around.
You're the one who told me you never seen Batman Beyond, right? Right, James?
I have actually, as much of a Batman fan as I am, I've never watched Batman Beyond.
That's the best one out
It's
of
not
all
the
the
best
animated.
one. There's
Yeah,
no way
out
it's
of
the
all the
best.
Batman animated series, Batman Beyond's the
It
best
does
one.
look really good. It does look really good. It's just at the time, I think when it came out, I was not in a Batman phase in my life, and then I just never circled back around. But yeah, maybe one of these days I'll sit down and
It's excellent.
it's probably all on HBO Max. I'll fire it up. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll add that. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be the Everybody Loves Raymond episode where his wife beats him up, and then I'm gonna go to work.
Just
That's my day tomorrow.
I think like the first 2 episodes are like a part 1, part 2 origin thing. Just watch that.
I could do that. Shea, did you watch Batman Beyond?
Episodes, not religiously.
Okay, all right.
So good.
I mean, again, I always thought it looked good. It's just something that I don't know. It just never jumped out at me, and I missed it when it was new. And I've seen the occasional comic and everything, and the appearances by Terry McGinnis and everything. So I know the lore. I know some of the characters and everything. I just never sat down and watched it.
Oh, it's excellent. It's my favorite Batman cartoon.
That's what I hear. So in this story, Batman's just walking around fucking up birds. They're they're flying off.
Rocks are flying and smashing windshields and shit.
And he keeps walking. He doesn't just like sit in an empty field. He just keeps continuing his trail of destruction.
He's just walking around all sad because his life's over.
Yeah. And so
He gives up. Like
He does quit.
Batman's like, I'm fucked.
well, I mean,
Well,
and honestly,
I mean-
what's he gonna do?
He can't kill himself.
Yeah, he can't
Yeah.
do anything. He just has to wait to die.
Wow, that's pretty terrifying. I like
Yeah,
this. I
right?
like that. That's a good story. So he walks by a junkyard and he's actually being attracted to the yard and he's wondering what's going on. And he sees the crane has an electromagnet that's pulling it towards him, and he realizes something. Does anybody realize what he realizes?
That he can reverse the polarity of his magnetic field because of the magnet on
Right.
the car crusher thing.
Right, or put more succinctly, opposites attract.
Yeah.
They come together because opposites attract.
Okay.
That was the song
Yeah.
that we started the episode with.
Oh, I see.
There we go.
I see. Okay.
All right. It took 2 steps
Okay.
forward and 3 steps back or whatever, but we came together.
Who is that? Paula Abdul?
Paul Abdul
Yes.
and MC Scat Cat.
Yeah. I heard she couldn't actually really sing in real life.
I think that's true of a
Like
lot
all that was
of-
like she was a dancer,
Yeah.
but she couldn't actually sing for shit.
Well, so was Milli Vanilli. Like, that's...
One of those
that's-
guys killed themselves because of that.
Oh, I
felt
think
so
s-
bad about it.
Oh, God. I haven't thought about it in a while, but I think I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
but it was many, many years later.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what happened to Ray Romano because Deborah was beating him so much he killed himself.
Yep, that was the season finale. The show went on for 3 more seasons. but
Yeah,
was
after he died,
dead.
and she's in jail. She's in jail for
Yep.
pushing him.
The show
towards
gets very
suicide.
boring. It gets very
It's
dull.
weird.
Right?
And they
And,
change it to 8 Simple Rules for loving Raymond.
It's like it's now about the brother trying to like change his bachelor lifestyle to now raise the children. Yeah, I know.
You know, what I like about the Milli Vanilli thing, though, is there's video of that moment where their backing track fucks up.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch the moment their career falls apart. It's incredible.
That's like normal now, though. Lots of bands have backing tracks and shit. For
Well,
stuff
you
that
have-
they can't do.
You have backing tracks, you have guide tracks, you have triggers, you have a few different kind of tricks, but they were just flat out lip syncing to a which looped. So apparently it was just like a vinyl record that they were playing. It wasn't even a tape or something. But like, you don't generally just 100% fully lip sync.
That's
usually.
so strange. Like, if you want to create, like, was this like a record label thing or was this them themselves?
I think it was the label. I'm pretty
Okay,
confident
so
the
why
label's
didn't
put
they
together.
just get 2 other guys who could sing?
I don't know. That's
It's
a good
just
question.
such a strange scam.
Was
I mean,
it something like they liked the voices of the other people, but they weren't really...
Yeah, I mean, they were
their
manufacturing
image
something.
wasn't
Yeah, I
great,
mean,
so
you
then they
wanted
just...
to you start by picking the 2 guys that look the coolest or look like what you want them to look like and are cheap and easy to manipulate, and then you figure out the talent part of it later.
That just seems like that was doomed to fail.
Damn well, and it did.
Yeah, it
It
resulted
lasted
in
for
the
like 2
death of a
years.
man.
All right. Speaking of the death of a man, Zebra Batman is worried about what's going on, but again, he's walked by the junkyard. He's realized, I can control the charge. I can manipulate the charges using my powers here, and maybe that can be a way that I can get back to the Zebra Man.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So they head back to Zebra Man's shack, and Robin is still investigating this. He's still on this case. He hasn't just left.
I wonder if that's next to Superman's shack.
Superman does have a shack, but you wouldn't know about it because it's private and you can't go in there. And there's a sign that clearly says that.
Yeah.
Don't just go into his shack.
It was probably bulldozed by the city.
It's gone. It's gone. Batman and Robin discover a note in the shack that says where they're going to have their next crime at the Gotham Storage Company.
Really convenient.
That worked out really well that they wrote down their scheme.
Robin's like, I'm a detective.
And Batman says, this will work fine. As long as I know where he's going to be, I can prepare ahead of time. This will work.
Because I may have the power of electromagnetism, but the real power is the power of reading.
Yep. And so down at the Gotham Storage Company, the Zebra Man and his henchmen are breaking in, and they're stealing just bags. I don't know what they're stealing. Just random goods, sacks of potatoes.
Oh, you know what? Fur coats.
Yeah.
They're stealing fur
They
coats.
got a lead on some fur coats.
This motherfucker could sell this invention for trillions. What is he doing?
What isn't he
fur
doing?
coats? They're not even that expensive.
Yeah, it's a
You
couple
don't
$100
know
bucks.
how many girlfriends he has.
Right, he's got to
Well,
keep
he's
a lot of them
repelling
happy.
everyone around him, so 0.
No, he's neutral.
He's like me at a high school party, just repelling everyone, all the women.
Yeah.
Don't even come near me.
You guys want to talk about Batman? I would have dated you, bro. I would have been like, yeah, I do. wanna
But then
talk
I
about
wasn't
Batman.
watching Batman Beyond, so you
No.
fell out of love with me.
Yeah, I'd have been like,
The hell
fuck
is wrong with you?
Fuck this jabron.
So Zebra Man sees Batman and he goes, "Oh, there's no problem because we have the same charge. So I'll run up to him and he'll just be repelled away."
Yeah, he runs up and punches him in the face and takes his belt.
So they actually end up together. They're not being repelled. And Zebra Man's wondering, what the hell is this? Batman grabs Zebra Man's belt and then uses it to knock over the henchman and take away Zebra Man's electromagnetic powers.
And what he does now is he's like, now I'll just have superpowers from now on.
Nope, he destroys it for
Yeah, weird,
civilization.
right? Right? Like he's Batman. He could change the world. He can now he could match Superman in some ways.
In some ways. Well,
He can now make himself fly, and he can have an amazing, powerful force.
so the scheme here, and I think I understand it, but I think they left a couple parts out, is that Batman went and reversed the charge on a manhole cover so that it would have the opposite charge, and that would actually attract the Zebra Man to it, where Batman, I guess, could attack him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm guessing what he's trying to say is that both Zebra Man and Batman were both attracted to the manhole cover, and that magnetism was powerful enough to overpower them repelling each other long enough for him to grab Zebra Man's belt.
Correct.
That's not quite written in the story.
No.
Like I had to infer a few things in here.
Kids were a lot smarter back then.
Well, also Batman didn't have control over the power, so how did he charge the manhole cover? He was just repelling everybody.
Robin did it.
Robin did it. Okay, all right. Robin did it.
A wizard did it.
Yeah,
Robin
exactly.
did it. All right. So that ends up ruining the Zebra Man. It's funny because this guy's entire scheme rested on him understanding magnets. Now he's a genius, clearly.
Yeah, and
But-
now and they say here he's a real Zebra Man now because of the shadow from the prison bars.
He's behind bars. And just to be shitty, Batman and Robin go to his cell to point and laugh. They're actually in his cell.
Yeah, they're inside. Like why so is the FBI going to raid his lab and take this technology? Why
Nope,
is this never
case
brought up
closed.
again?
The
Destroyed.
end.
Batman destroyed it. And they
This
went
doesn't make
into
any
his
sense.
They went into his cell to mock him, not just standing in the hallway. They went into the cell.
No more fossil fuels because you have not only can they have this force and create it, but they have the ability to control it with a belt.
Yeah. Well, my larger point was he clearly understands physics, but he doesn't seem to understand magnets. He failed to work it out, like that Insane Clown Posse song.
Magnets. What
Magnets.
the fuck? That's
How do
right.
they work?
How do they work?
He understood the electromagnetic fields. Magnets were a little beyond him.
Yeah, whoop whoop.
I do have to say, I enjoyed magnets as a kid.
That's who we need. I think who would enjoy our show.
The Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah, the
Doesn't sound clean,
the Juggalos.
Yeah, the Juggalos would probably have a
Let's
good
get
time
that
with the show.
Juggalo audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Start
And then we
reaching
can
out.
get a sponsorship from Fago.
I'm from Detroit. I got cred. I drank Faygo before I even knew it was a Insane Clown Posse thing. It was just what you drank in Chicago or in Detroit.
The magnetism powers would solve transportation. It would solve all gun violence because you can't shoot someone if you have you have a belt that repels all the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
How come no one's interested in this?
He hasn't shopped it around.
Dumb.
People don't want to wear that suit. Also, they may be.
I do.
All of the people anywhere near him might be getting cancer
Oh, that's
just from
true.
being around that suit.
You know what? A powerful electromagnetic field would probably be pretty radioactive.
Well, we already give off radiation just walking around. So,
That's true.
you've just amplified it times 1,000. You're just
Yeah.
killing everybody.
Yeah, that would be pretty radioactive now that I think about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of the first story. Then we got a couple of fillers. We've
we
got
got-
this story of Binky
Yeah, Binky.
in the
Well,
best
it says
present of all.
Binky, but it says his name is Allergy.
What's the matter? Allergy.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, there's this kid who I guess is Binky, and he's sitting on. You know what? Binky might be one of the other guys, and Allergy is his friend. So Allergy.
What kind of name is Allergy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's a nickname because he's like the sickly kid. You know the sickly kid in school?
No,
Always
he
rubbing
died.
his nose. Yes. You knew him for a while.
The sickly kid now as an adult is just everyone I know who smokes.
Yeah. Well, it's getting to that point where you can't get away with it. Remember when you were 25 years old and you could smoke and still look good? And then now it's it's all caught up with you?
So I'm
Yeah.
so glad I don't smoke because I'm pushing 40. I'm
Gross.
younger than James, thank God. And
Everyone is.
I've been traveling, so I came home, I caught a cold, and I got over that shit in 2 days
Yeah.
because I don't
It's fine.
smoke.
No, if you took care of yourself, I think we're really going to start in very soon in the next few years. You're really going to start to see the split between people who took care of themselves and people who didn't, because there's going to be a real steep drop off in the.
You
people
and I
that
are
didn't think of it.
ripped.
Yeah, we're doing great.
We're ripped.
If you
That's
take care of
crazy.
yourself, stop fucking smoking, moisturize,
It's
stop
not
drinking.
it's not even that hard.
No, it's not too bad.
It's kind of hard, I
Yeah,
guess. It
it's
doesn't
fine.
you work out an hour a day.
It's a lifestyle change.
That's it. An
But
hour.
it'll slowly change. Well, it's
That's-
also just not putting chemicals and ethanol and shit in your body.
Yeah, eat your eggs.
Yeah, have a lot of eggs. It's great. Well, Allergy didn't do that. And so this kid, in the last moments of his life, is sitting on the porch moping. And these other guys come up to him, and I assume one of them is
Moments
Binky.
of his life.
He's the sickly kid. They call him Allergy. Everybody knows what's up.
He's surrounded by a dazzle of people.
That's what they call it. You just need to get 3 or 4
you
zebras
think the
together.
Zebra Man's gang were called the Dazzlers?
Oh, I hope so. You're missing some cross-promotional synergy with Dazzler over at Marvel. Bring her on over.
I'll take on Zebra Man, Robin. You fight the Dazzlers.
All right. For a one-page comic, we need to get through this. So Allergy is sad, and he's approached by a couple of guys. I assume one of them is Binky. I assume that's what's going on here.
Strangers.
Strangers walk up, and they're like, what's up with your Christmas cheer, Allergy? Why are you upset? And Allergy's upset because he doesn't feel like he bought people good presents.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't, so they beat him.
Yep. This is it's about the value of giving thoughtful gifts, so Mike doesn't understand it.
We talked about this before the recording, actually,
did.
about how I don't give gifts, but I'm very charitable.
Which is a gift. Like, if you're buying somebody a ticket to a show or something, you're buying them dinner, that's a gift.
I don't think of it that way.
Well, it doesn't matter how you think of it, that's what it is.
It's just like I have a lot of disposable income. Mm-hmm. So it's like, why not spend it on my friends and my
this
loved
guy.
ones?
Well, so this is what this guy did, and he's upset because he doesn't feel like he did well enough by his friends, but then they tell him, like, well, you also went and you sang Christmas carols, and you fixed up toys for the children's hospital, all kinds of stuff. So really, stop throwing a pity party. You're fishing. You're fishing here, Allergy.
And then Allergy's like, who are you guys? And then he's kidnapped.
And that's the end. That's the end of that. It's just a little filler. And speaking of filler, our old pal Casey the dipshit.
Yep, Casey the dipshit cop.
Yeah, Casey the cop, and it seems his son isn't turning out too bright either.
Not
So-
at all.
So this is another quick one. It's a really silly, over-the-top, cartoony Hanna-Barbera style thing about this cop named Casey, and he calls his son at home and says, "Put your mom on the phone." And the next thing the guy hears over the phone is just a bunch of guns going off.
Right, because he's too stupid to realize it's a TV.
Yeah. It's a lighthearted joke about how Casey the cop thinks his family has been brutally murdered inside their own home.
Right, so they go to his house and they accidentally shoot his son and wife.
That's terrible.
It's the Chicago PD. Yeah, he says, get the squad car out. There's something terrible happening at my house. I hope we aren't too late. Again, this is like a Hanna-Barbera style children's cartoon, and he's worried his family has been murdered.
Hopefully he's not a Louisville cop or that family's screwed.
Oh, well. No, they come into the house and they see that the kid, after being told to put his mom on the phone, just went off and watched TV, and that's what they heard over the phone.
He's sitting way too close to that screen.
No, that's not a thing. That's what they used to say.
No,
and it
that's
doesn't
true.
matter. Mess up your rods and cones. You're not going to see the orange
Dude,
anymore.
like those VR headsets, I wouldn't put one of them things on. Fuck that.
I don't believe. I've had optometrists tell me, like, because I think my mom tried to load that on me. Like, I went to get glasses for the first time, and she told the optometrist, now he uses the computer a lot, and that's going to ruin his eye. That's going to rot his eyes right out, right? And the optometrist kind of rolled his eyes and said, like, you're not going to hurt your eyes by using them.
I'm sure that there is like a medium of truth to that.
I'm going to say very little.
I think it's more like because like you're staring at something close up and you're not using your long range vision enough, and that is becomes weak over time because you're not looking off in the distance enough.
Well, fair, but that doesn't sound like neurological damage.
No,
or
but it's
biological damage.
but it's like a muscle. Like your eyes are getting weaker
Fine.
in one aspect because you're not using it.
You can fix that muscle later.
Well, no.
Youth is wasted on the young.
Your eyes atrophying. There's no fixing that later.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe with the LASIK, which I'm going to do.
See, you were all no on the LASIK a couple.
I know,
episodes
but it's
ago,
like I hate having glasses. I hate it.
I love it.
I have people I've thought about that before, and people will get really on my case and tell me I can't lose my glasses. They're my look. I gotta have them.
I don't have a look.
I don't know.
I can
Yes,
give up
you
my
do, Mike.
glasses. Not really. I'm pretty neutral. I'm a
Black
bald white guy.
t-shirt.
I'm a bald
With
white
no
guy in a
smell.
black t-shirt. I look
With-
like 1,000 guys.
With no natural smell,
yeah,
as we've covered before.
Fucking six pack.
You're a non-element in society.
And I'm
You're-
ghostly white.
You're true
My
neutral.
my look is Nosferatu. That's my look.
Jesus Christ.
Nosferatu didn't have glasses.
Let's move on. Let's move on to this. Okay, so then we got the middle story.
Yep.
And our middle story is features Ray Raymond, TV detective and total buzzkill.
Ray Romano. TV
It's
Also,
called
it's Roy Raymond.
Roy Raymond. It doesn't
Victim
matter.
of spousal abuse.
Ray Raymond. It's a book called The Super Brain Maker, written by Ruben Morera.
There's a bunch of kids that like have
art by
no
also
idea who the fuck
Ruben
everyone
Morera.
knows Raymond is.
Doesn't matter. It's probably playing on Netflix or something all the time. Kids still know what Friends is. That show hadn't been on the air in 45 years.
That show is embarrassingly terrible.
It's not a good show. It's not funny or clever, and occasionally problematic, quite problematic. It's fat-phobic, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I'm pretty fat phobic. I can't judge them.
Yeah, you are. All right. So anyway, this is an obscure character in DC history. He's a TV detective, and they still kind of use this guy, or at least they use his children. At least his son was Owlman at one point.
No, okay. So okay. So here's my question. All right.
Sure.
So when they say Roy
Just asking
Raymond
questions.
TV detective,
Yeah.
is he like he's a detective, a real detective, like
Mm-hmm.
Dog the Bounty Hunter that has a TV show, or is he an actor who plays a detective
No,
on TV?
I think he's an actual detective with credentials who
I
decided.
want to. Well, I'm sorry. First, we need to start with Dog the Bounty Hunter is not a detective.
No, I mean, but he's like or he's a real
certified.
bounty hunter. He's like a real
Yeah.
bail
Accredited.
bondsman. Right, but he's not like an actor who plays a bail bondsman
Yeah.
on television.
Yeah, he's that guy all the time.
Yeah, he's that guy. So that's my question: is this an actor who plays a character?
No, I think this is who he really was. I think he just saw there was a lot of money in having a TV show.
Okay.
where he
So
like a
is there a
TV
skills and
judge.
tests.
So is there like a camera? Well, most of those TV judges aren't really judges.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of that's fake.
I mean, I think
Today
there's
I
some like
learned.
weird, some level of credential they have, but yeah, they're not. I don't know. I don't think they're judges in the strictest
It's like
sense.
Dr. Phil's not a doctor.
Dr. Phil's barely a human being.
Did you guys ever see the thing with the bump fights guy?
Yeah, where he
Yes.
shaved his head and
Just
yeah,
to show that there's no difference between the two. Like they both exploit the
was-
less fortunate.
that was pretty
Jeez.
good. I mean, that guy's a scumbag, but
I know, but that was pretty
still,
based.
still pretty base to do that. All right.
That's one of my favorite things. Ray Romano getting beaten up by his wife,
Yeah.
and like
gonna
Dr.
watch.
Phil in the bump fights, dude.
I've got a whole afternoon of TV for tomorrow set up.
You do.
All right. Have we set our template here? Everybody have any more questions
Okay, I'm
about
sorry,
Roy
I'm
Raymond?
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I just want to. There was a lot of stuff going around. I want to make sure
It
everybody.
just I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. It didn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
just a TV detective.
What does that fucking mean?
He invented a whole genre. He invented the TV
detective.
detective.
Because like
He's a skeptic. He's a professional skeptic.
Okay, so is there a camera crew following him around? Like, are we supposed to imagine this is a reality show?
No, I don't think that. I think he has the show, but also this is a peek into his real life where he's also busting this shit just because he can't help himself.
All right.
That's what I think is happening.
Okay.
Maybe they meant to use the word journalist.
Yeah, he's basically just a journalist.
Well, it's just like I don't understand because like we don't see his show.
Well, in this adventure, we don't. This is him and his off hours, but he's still being a detective.
It was just a weird gimmick
Yeah.
to add to this thing. This character he could have just been detective.
Well, I assume there are other adventures he has where we see him on his show. This is just one adventure, and in this time he's out with his lovely secretary Karen.
Yeah, we know
His-
what
yeah,
he's doing.
His platonic secretary Karen.
Uh-huh.
And they're out on a regatta on a ship out at sea with the wealthy billionaire J.W. Bradshaw, J.B.
Fuck that
Pritzker.
guy. Fuck
So-
J.W. Bradshaw. He's rigging elections.
So out in the sea, they see that an observation boat has run into a barge and it's sinking.
And then luckily the zebra man is there to stop it
Fix
from
everything.
sinking, you know?
People
Mike,
really
I have
liked
an answer
rescuing
to your
boats in the day.
question.
Oh, good.
Oh, ooh.
Roy Raymond is the host of a television show called Impossible But True,
Yes.
which is essentially Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes.
Or Commander Riker's show.
Oh yeah,
Fact or
fiction.
fiction.
Fact or
Yeah.
fiction.
Well, no, it's more like Ripley's because they would like go there and investigate.
Okay, yeah. See, again, it's a TV show. I don't understand why this is so hard to believe that this guy has a life outside of his TV show.
It's just I'd never heard of this character before.
Right.
And so
It's
I
a
didn't
deep cut.
know. I just did because the show's never brought up like in this
Yeah.
story.
Well, we're expected to know. We're expected to all be big Roy Raymond fans already.
Well, I am now.
Big into this guy now. So the ship is sinking and there's nobody around to save it. And so this dude arrives, this guy, Charles Craven, with just
Yeah.
the most absurd comb over I've
Yeah,
ever
it's
seen in my
so
life.
sad.
So
It's so sad. That's what I'm gonna do.
he's got the Dr. Phil where he's just got like the thing around the side, but then he's got like just a few wisps in the front, only in the front.
I'm in
doing
this
a comb
weird.
over.
I'm in the weird transition phase between having hair and going bald, and I'm like, I just want to get to the end part so I can start being ridiculous.
No, it's going to be a slow decline.
It's the worst because like it's been slowly thinning
Yeah.
for like 20 years.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, why can't it just be like done, and then I can be really silly with my hair?
Well, I mean, are you saying like you want it all gone?
Just like the parts that are going to be, because like
You want the
it's bad,
donut.
is I'm at the part now where it's bad enough where I have to keep trimming it, cutting it as short as possible because it looks like shit. Because if I grow it out, it's gonna look thin, like I'm sick or something.
Right.
So I have to cut it short. But it's like, but it's not enough where if I have the horseshoe look like this guy, I can be really silly now because it's over. The
Yeah, you
balding
can grow
part's
it out,
done.
like Dr. Wiley.
Yeah, I could be like Dr. Wiley. Like, when am I going to get to the Dr. Wiley part? Do I got to wait till I'm 80?
It's a slow decline. You just shave the top of it down and let the sides go. Just do it
No,
yourself.
that's not the point. It's supposed to just be how it
Well,
looks.
Or you can wait another 20 years. Like
That's
it's
what
gonna
I'm
be a
doing
s-
now.
It's
It's
gonna be
taking
a slow
forever.
decline. That's my point. You
I
can
want
goose
to
it up
be
or
young
not.
enough though to enjoy being silly with it.
Do it. Cut it. Shave that down. Wax that top.
right?
So-
I gotta get electrolysis. I gotta do the opposite of going to Bosley.
So this guy, Charles Craven, he shows up and he's got a helmet. He's got a super brain machine helmet. And he says, "This will save the day. This will rescue that ship."
It
And
looks
so-
like a fucking frog helmet.
It's Cerebro.
No, it's not. It's Toad from Mario.
Oh, here's a little bit of Toad. It's a big green dumb helmet. And the guy says, pick anybody. Just pick the most pathetic person you can find. Just the lowliest, most worthless person. Just an absolute unlikable shithead, bonehead. And Karen immediately points to the maintenance man and says, "Oh yeah, that'd be him. That's this guy."
That guy doesn't have a college education.
nothing going on for him.
I'm not fucking that guy.
Get a job.
And he goes, "Oh, sure."
Yeah, they tell you to get a job and they're not happy with the job you got.
Yes. So they put this helmet on this maintenance guy's head, and they say, just like, come up with an answer. And he goes, "Yeah, I know what to do. I've calculated all the math. I know what to do. There are a couple helicopters in the sky, and they have cables in their cargo there, and they can tow the boat safely to the dock."
They 100% cannot.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount to expect. Like,
Absolutely
first
not.
of all, this would
Maybe
take
the ship
hours.
the ship is made out of popsicle sticks.
You know how fucking light helicopters are?
Well, as
No.
we will find out later, this whole thing is faked. So
You can't
know.
tow a boat with a helicopter.
It's
You
made.
can't tow shit.
Look, it's an empty boat. It's a plastic boat. Okay, they thought about all these angles.
Dumb.
So they're able to salvage this boat, and Mr. Raymond is like, "Well, that's pretty impressive. Let me test it out," because he's trying to sell. Craven is trying to sell this thing to this billionaire industrialist guy, and he wants Raymond to vet that it actually does what he says it's going to do. So Raymond takes it home, and he's gonna use it, and they put it on his head, and they tell him, just think of anything. Think of the first thing. And he goes, "Oh, okay, well, I'm going to try and figure out, there's this famous explorer, Hubert Willard, and he just returned from the Peruvian jungle with an amazing discovery. He hasn't told anybody yet. Put on this helmet. Guess what it is? I bet you're right." All right? So he puts on the helmet. He guesses that he has found the lost city of gold right in the middle of the jungle. All right? So Craven goes, "All right, well, let's call him up. Here's his address. We'll call him up. We'll just ask him. We'll just call this famous guy like you do and ask him a personal question."
He's like, "Hello." He goes, "Yes. Did you find the lost city of gold?" And he said, "Yep."
Yep, that's what it is. He just-
I mean, nope.
I mean, no. I
so
mean, yeah. He goes, "Hey, do me a favor and don't tell nobody." And he's like, "All right, I won't."
all right, Biggie swear.
And they
So,
hang up. And
they
then he
hang
goes,
up,
"All right." And then
Raymond
the
goes,
end.
"Dude, that could have ended. Yeah, it could have been the end of the comic right there." But Raymond goes, "All right, you know what? Give me a day. Give me a day to think about this because I get a weird feeling from you.
Yeah.
I need to think about this. Something's up here. Okay, come back tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So he's walking around with Karen after a platonic discussion about their business.
Yeah, right. He's not coming inside Karen at all.
No, not at all. And he passes by where the explorer lives, the hotel apartments that he lives in.
Yep.
And he says, something's up about this, and I think I figured it out. Okay.
Is he played by Jimmy Stewart?
He should be. He looks great.
Look at that. It's Jimmy Stewart.
Look at those cheekbones.
It's Jimmy Stewart from Vertigo specifically.
Oh.
I
Speaking of,
can kind of see it.
There you go. All right. Got
so
the Shée seal of approval.
all right, that's all we ever want. That's all anybody wants. So back at the home of J.P. Bradshaw, they're about to. Bradshaw is about to sign the check for $1 million
Wow.
to buy the machine from Craven, and
He goes, wow, first this electromagnetic device and now this.
and it's the same cronies from the Zebra Man.
Right, it's the
same
Dazzlers.
henchmen. Yes, it's the Dazzlers. They got their gang busted up at the end of the last story, and they're over here.
Think about the poor bald men that existed in
He had nothing to do, yeah.
in the 1960s. It's like you can't just shave it.
It was great for the hat industry.
Look at that. He's got one little thing
It's
in
the
the front
weirdest
to comb
thing.
it over. Yeah.
What are you
that's like-
doing?
yeah.
Get rid of that.
He can't get rid of it because then he's going to have a weird stubble
I'd
where the rest
rather-
of his hair grows out.
Well, no, because it's combed over. Like
Is
one
it?
side, that's what a comb over is. You
I
let
thought it
one
was-
side get really long, and then you comb it over to cover your bald spot.
I thought it was just that he had a spot of hair.
No,
on,
what
where his hair
like a ring, like a
and
like,
he
like
just and he splits it in two, so it goes in two different directions.
no. What I think is what's happening is you let one side grow long, and then you comb it over to cover the bald spot. But he only has this little wisp, this like inch wide patch of hair that he's
In
combed
the
over.
very front.
It's ridiculous.
I have a friend
Very,
of mine. I have a
very-
friend of
yeah.
mine from high school, and he was the pretty boy of the group, and he had long, beautiful hair, and all the girls like wanted to fuck him.
Uh-oh.
And then when he became an
I
adult,
didn't go to school with you. Having
But when he
fun.
grew up, his hair started to thin and fall out, and he combed it over.
Yeah,
And then I saw him years later. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
yeah.
You're gonna have a comb over? Or, you
Stuff
can't do
exists for that. You either shave it or you get a prescription. Like
Yeah, you
there's
get
stuff
that-
you get choices.
Yeah, you got that finasteride minoxidil combo pill they give you now. Like that shit works.
Yeah, it works.
You gotta do it
it's
early.
legitimate.
You gotta do it
gotta
real early,
because it's
though.
only gonna get you back like a percentage of what you've lost. You're not gonna go from 0 to 100. So you gotta
And
stop.
sometimes it does.
You could
People
get
who are
lucky.
what they call like they're like a 10% of the people they're like
Yeah.
really susceptible to it.
Yeah.
And it grows their shit back, but that's not the majority of people.
Yeah, get on it. If you care about it, you want to keep it you can always decide that, you know what, I don't feel like it. I'm going to go with the bald look later. You can decide that later. Hang on to it right now. It's okay. Go for it. Do what you got to do.
I've had like a bald head
Kings.
for so long, I couldn't imagine not being that way now. Like
Yeah.
going to get my hair
There's
cut.
nothing wrong with being bald either. There's nothing
You
wrong
know
with
what
any
I
of these
mean?
things.
I would look weird. Can you guys imagine? That'd be weird looking
with
at this
long
point.
flowing hair.
That's how I used to be.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But that
I
would
want to
just-
see a picture of
It's
this.
so weird. It'd be
I'll
so
Photoshop
weird
something
to not to like. I've been this way for like so long.
Just my I guess my point is just take charge of it. Whatever you're gonna do, just take charge of it. Don't just
Or
let it
don't
happen.
worry about it. You know,
Well, yeah, and don't worry about it. Is probably shaving it is just
Yeah,
like get rid of it.
as to quote my good friend James, we're all gonna end up in the box.
Yeah, you're all gonna end up in that box. Hell, I worry about it. I don't want to lose my
You're
beautiful
40
hair.
now. Now you're at an age now where you can lose it though. Like
Oh,
I
no,
was
I've-
losing it. I was losing it at too young of an age.
I've had worries about it. But I'm on
now.
top of things. Things are good. Things are fine. Things are the ship is righted. But take care of it. Take care of the shit.
Shay sent me a birthday picture of James, and he looked very handsome.
I was wearing a blazer. Yeah, we went down to River Roast downtown.
Yeah,
You
you guys be proud of me for not making fun of James's blazer in the chat.
Yeah, I
I
specifically.
was proud of you.
I built the day around the blazer. Like
I
one of
like-
the first things I
Yes.
said was, I want to wear that blazer. Let's find somewhere to go.
Shay said that to me, and my hands were shaking on the keyboard.
I don't care. I expect it. It doesn't even phase me from you anymore. It would phase me from Shée. Shée
You're-
could cut me like a knife if she said something mean about the way I looked. I don't. It doesn't mean anything coming from
You're
Mike
a
anymore.
snappy fucking dresser, bro.
I try to be
Like you have
reasonably.
some style.
Well, I mean, I didn't for the longest time. It's probably just in the last like 5 or 6 or 7 years I started going like, oh, you know what? All the information about how you're supposed to dress is right there. It's on the internet. It's free.
Oh man, James, how long have we known each other?
About 7 years, something like that.
You started
Yeah,
doing this about 6 years ago?
it was probably. Are you saying that the two things are correlated, or
I think so.
they could be? I mean, there are worse things. There are worse motivations. But you want to look attractive. If you want to look attractive to other people, if you want other attractive people to be attracted to you, you have to be attractive for them. It's not a one-way street.
True.
You got to give. You got to give.
Well, and it's little things. Like you had like, dad sneakers. And I was like, hey, why don't you just grab a pair of Converse?
I think
things.
well, I think my nephew gave me those dad sneakers as a gift.
Yes.
So I didn't want to. It's kind of rude of you to say get rid of those sneakers. Anyway, I'm gonna play this for myself.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
So they
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's getting so much use.
so why did and also I like that Craven, who's apparently he wants everyone to think he's on the up and up that's selling this brain machine, but he brings cronies.
Yes.
Like that's not what innocent people do.
He went through a lot of he's running like this guy when guys
Yeah.
run scams, they don't bring armed goons.
Yeah, he'll bring goons.
No. Well, and of course, like, oh, it's completely on the up and up. And then the guy comes in and says, hey, don't sign the contract.
Right.
And then Dr. Man, Dr. Bad Hair,
Dr. Craven. Wes Craven.
his response is, he's lying.
Right.
Get him, man.
So yes, Craven's men, they're gonna open
because
fire.
that's what an innocent man does.
Well, it's just like he's signing the check. It's just like, you can just cancel that check.
Yeah. Raymond told Bradshaw to hang on a second, and they opened fire. He talked vague shit about me, murder him.
So what's he gonna do? Is he just gonna grab the check out of his hand and try to cash it now? That's not how that works.
No,
Call the
this
bank.
man walked in with like Rudy Giuliani and Alan Dershowitz and was like,
Yeah.
I'm innocent.
This is crazy. So they start shooting in this room, this hotel room or whatever it is, and Roy Raymond like swings on a shade. I don't know how that works.
The wheel fucking provides.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it does.
It
was good.
really does.
So-
Like, that's crazy.
That's
Roy
our
Raymond-
shirt that we need.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That is actually a pretty good one.
Right?
No copyright infringement there at all. That's good.
no.
So apparently Roy Raymond is also a street fighter, and he manages to subdue these two goons with their guns, and they're terrified of him now.
Yep.
Like they're running scared from this guy. And then we find out what the whole scam was. It turns out that the maintenance guy, when they put the helmet on him, he heard there's a headpiece in the headset that said, "Hey, this is a joke we're playing on Roy Raymond for his birthday. We arranged that ship to wreck. So just we're gonna tell you what to do to rescue it, and you just pretend like you thought of it yourself." So that's how that worked.
Really
I've had-
elaborate.
Yeah, I've had some people give me some amazing birthday presents, but they've never sunk a ship for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's $1 million on the line here.
Of course, the sunken ship would cost about $1 million.
Well, I'm guessing that was like a cardboard ship. That was not a legitimate ship. So then Raymond says, all right, well, here's the thing. As far as how it worked for me when I predicted about that lost city of gold being found, turns out there's a two-way radio in the headpiece, and somebody listening far away heard the whole thing. And then you just had me call a fake number, and that dude who heard everything just played along and said, oh, yeah, absolutely, Lost City of Gold, that was what it was. It was a whole fake thing. So that's all. And he could tell because the real explorer who hadn't revealed his discovery yet, lives in a hotel apartment complex where I guess a switchboard operator would pick up first, not just the guy. You wouldn't just call the guy directly in those days. So this is a mystery that our modern audiences wouldn't have been able to solve.
Nope.
Because you don't call a switchboard operator.
Nope.
And that's the end of that tale.
Yep.
Then we got another little one-pager where a bunch of cops show off all the military gear they used to suppress protesters. It's pretty good. Called
Yep.
Cops of All
They
Trades.
did it back then. They're still doing it.
Yeah, it's just some weird little one-page where we see how cool cops are.
I think because the protests with like Native Americans like protesting pipelines and the cops overstepping their bounds and beating people, and then Black Lives Matter. I think that's done.
The propaganda, yeah, you can't do that anymore.
I don't think we're ever gonna see like extreme like protest suppression ever again in America.
I thought you just meant like the way it's portrayed in the media in terms of
Both. I don't
yeah.
I don't think that they'll be. Yeah, you're right, but I don't think that the American people are going to put up with like extreme suppression like that ever again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Taking
It's an
cues
interesting
from
thing.
France.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that those days are over. The days of like controlling your population in the age of the internet, that's fucking finished.
It's really hard to peddle bullshit nowadays with the
Yeah,
internet.
all propaganda now is called out as propaganda immediately.
Yeah. Like back in the day, I don't hold it against people for being super jingoistic back in the day because like they didn't know. Like nobody
Three
was pushing
channels.
back. Nobody was pushing back against the propaganda. Like they had no reason to think it wasn't true.
Yeah, now we know all about
Yeah,
how everything is just like a rich man's trick.
Yeah, so I'm okay with the old school patriots. They didn't know. Like,
Yeah,
they tried.
didn't know.
They didn't know. I do like this cop at the end that's wearing the gas mask though. He looks pretty fucking metal.
All right,
like that
gassing
guy.
me
He
2
looks like-
years ago.
He's like one of the many drummers in Slipknot.
That's his
that guy.
instrument right there.
R.I.P. Joey Jorgensen.
Oh yeah, one of them died, didn't he?
Yeah, he died. I knew him personally.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was like a friend of a friend in a way.
Oh wow.
I used to get invited. I had a friend of mine who was a big fan of this band called the Murder Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
That was Joey Jorgensen's side band. So
Oh,
we would
wow.
get invited to all their parties. So every time they had a CD release or they had like a local show or something, I would be invited to their show, and I was friendly and on speaking terms with all these guys, and they knew who I was.
Interesting.
It was super weird.
And one of the other Slipknot guys, one of the other Slipknot drummers, is the son of Bruce Springsteen's drummer Max Weinberg.
Yep.
Connection
Yeah.
people don't recognize. People don't expect that. But yeah, he's drummed for Springsteen before when Max Weinberg couldn't do it.
And he's a Slipknot drummer.
And he's a Slipknot drummer.
If you're the
Sweet.
drummer for Slipknot, you're a talented guy. I don't care
Yeah.
for the
Well,
band, but
yeah.
damn.
Well, they used to do on Conan. So back in the day on the Conan O'Brien show, the drummer was Max Weinberg, Bruce Springsteen's drummer. And they would do a bit on the show called the Slipnuts, where they would have these three guys come out in goofy outfits
yes.
and slip on nuts and sing a song about how they're slipping on nuts. And it was just really stupid. And then they actually opened up, like at a Slipknot concert, these guys came out and did this routine. These heroes got completely massacred by an audience that was going to literally murder these people.
Dude, that was back in the day where like metal crowds had zero sense of humor about
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
brutal going to those shows.
You like the goofiest genre. Have a sense of humor. Jesus.
It's so dumb. Like I went to a Guar concert and they had the opening band was called Gil Mantera's Party Dream. And not only was their music excellent, but they were fucking hysterical. Their live
Yeah.
show was amazing. But the crowd who's there for a Guar show, which is silly already,
Yeah.
wasn't fucking having it.
I
was
don't know.
like, what are you doing?
Not a lot of self-awareness in the metal community.
Enjoy your fucking life.
yeah.
What's the difference between Guar and Slipknot?
Guar's like nothing. They're bands.
Not really, yeah. I mean, Guar is a lot more stylistically diverse. They'll have horns and goofy stuff, and they kind of wear their silliness on their sleeve. Slipknot kind of portrays it like they're serious, but
yeah, like
they're
they're
also
tough
silly.
guys, and Guar.
Yeah.
Like Guar is supposed to be space monsters, like space sex monsters.
Yeah, and they'll have like horn solos and goofy things
yeah,
that you
they're having
normally
a good
have.
time.
Yeah, Slipknot is they're kind of doing the same thing, but they're trying to get it over a little more seriously.
I'll tell
too.
you what the difference is. Slipknot will tell you it's time for a circle pit, and Guar would never ask. Anyone who's in a metal band who's listening, if you have to tell the audience to start moshing or to create a wall of death or to do a circle pit, if you have to instruct
Fucking
them
up.
to do it, it's called your band's not good enough.
Yeah, you're fucking up.
Because like they'll do it on their own.
You're slipping on your nuts. All right. We still got a lot to cover.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, that's Mike's metal minute.
No, that
PSA.
helped. Thank you, Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike's going to tell you a couple of good time stories from the olden days.
I tell you, the frontman for Guar is a guy named. He's dead now. He's Dave Brocky, and
Yeah.
he's my comedy hero.
Yeah, he wore a cuttlefish codpiece.
That guy, it was fearless. He
Yeah,
was
it was
totally
fun.
fierce, and he was a genius. R.I.P. Dave Brocky, the funniest man who's ever lived.
You should find a Guar comic. There's probably one. It's probably too. They're probably too recent and too good.
Probably. There's a bunch of Guar movies they made in the 90s.
All right. So
They
there's-
are fucked up.
So then we got this little thing. It's just another silly one. I don't think we need to spend much time on this. It's called Jail Jests. It's a short comic where we make light of the criminal legal system.
Yeah.
And it's just a silly comic. This guy goes into jail, and they pair him up with the toughest guy in the prison. And the tough guy is actually scared because he saw a mouse run across the
Yep.
floor.
And then his Susto sees weakness and he rapes him.
Yep. Well, you got to establish dominance there.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, the skinny guy. He's probably like a mass murderer. He's probably
Yeah.
worn people's faces.
Yeah.
Like he's not scared of anything.
He killed his family.
Yeah, the other guy's just like a biker, like a tough
Yeah,
biker.
he's like
Like,
a
no, you got
biker.
nothing. You got
He's
nothing.
there for selling meth.
I'm the guy that Slipknot writes the songs about. Me.
It sucks like growing up. Like I always loved like classic heavy metal, and I was that guy in high school. And my friends, like they're all like punk and ska. I was the worst, but they were my friends. So like whatever.
you.
So like whatever. I went to all those concerts, all those punk and ska concerts. I went to all of them just because my friends didn't like metal. So it is what it is. But then when Slipknot came out, they started listening to Slipknot. So I thought to myself, oh boy, they're going to start listening to metal now. But now it was just Slipknot, and Slipknot's terrible.
No. All right, great. I'm glad I drove it right back into Slipknot. Then we have a text story. I don't think we
I
need to
didn't
spend
read
much
it.
time on. It's called Death Counts Out the Champ. It's just a really dumb story. There's this dude who is managing a potential boxing champion, and then this sheriff arrives because the champ has gone missing, and the sheriff arrives and investigates and realizes that, oh, the manager was trying to get his own boxer, his own talent to take a dive, and he wouldn't do it, so the manager ran him over with his car and faked it that he was assaulted by someone else. That's all there is.
I just saw the sheriff's name was Reagan, and I was like, I ain't reading
Sure.
this.
Well, it's Regan, but okay, fine enough. Yeah, whatever.
It's too close to Reagan.
This might get cut out of the podcast altogether. It's completely inconsequential. All right, and then we have one last story starring the Martian Manhunter. And it's an adventure called John Jones's Pesky Partner, written by Jack Miller, art by Joe Certa.
I love that John Jones. Like here, it seems like John Jones is his name. Like he's not the Martian Manhunter. He's just John Jones.
Well,
Yes.
his Martian name is John Jones with Z's.
Jones with the
And so
Z's.
when he came up with a human disguise, he was like, well, I'm not going to be able to remember two names, so I'll pronounce this like a human American would and call it
And
John
he's
Jones.
a Manhunter because he's gay. He's got kind of a bondage outfit.
He's the dick hunter. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's got his little booty shorts. He's got like the leather straps.
It's not the best outfit. The updates they've given him have definitely.
I don't know. I like this.
Yeah.
I
Green
think it
and
looks
green.
good.
Green and blue and green shouldn't be seen. That's a fashion tip from James. James's fashion corner.
All right.
No, it's fine. It's fine for the time. I like the character. Interested in seeing him back in the day, so it's kind of fun. But
I'm
also
a
look
fan. Martian Manhunter is one of my favorite DC Comics
yeah,
characters.
he's a cool character now. But it took a little development. Also, look at this random officer. I just noticed his face. I just
Yeah, he
find it
looks
very
like-
humorous.
He looks like J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah, JJJ picking up some side scratch. We'll put that up. on
Hey,
the
you guys
YouTube.
got pictures of Spider-Man.
So John Jones, he's a manhunter from Mars, and while he's on Earth, he's disguised as a detective.
Yep, so he's a cop, so he's a piece of shit.
Yep. He's throwing people off the scent by being the lowliest thing you can be. And they're pairing him up with a new partner, Diane Mead, who's the commissioner's daughter.
And he's
Nepotism.
thinking to himself, I'm not going to be able to hunt for men with this woman
I
here.
can't have her cramping my style.
He's more afraid of being outed as a homosexual than as an alien.
There's a lot of crime going on down at the Y. I'll go investigate.
I'm sure like at this time, it like the consequences of him being outed as a homosexual are worse
Oh, yeah.
than if he
Worse-
was outed as a Martian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's way, way worse. It's a Martian, they just want to study you.
Yeah. But he wants to study other men as he hunts for them. All he
So-
needs is like a leather cap.
He does have, so he doesn't have, if you've ever seen the classic Martian Manhunter, he's shirtless except for couple of red straps around his chest.
Yeah, what are they holding up?
It's kind of a bondagey thing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got saggy pecs.
Well, he's a shapeshifter, so I mean, he
There's
can
no
control
excuse.
that.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. So the first mission that he and his partner are going to go on is that some dumbass woman, and she's not dumbass because she's a woman. She just happens to be a woman and a dumbass. I don't want any. I don't want any.
I mean, it's her driving though.
I don't want any DMs about this. All right, it's fine. It's all right. It's completely two separate facts. She's a woman. She's a dumbass.
I mean, Shée doesn't drive.
She drives. She's
Shée,
actually
do you drive?
she's actually a pretty good driver. I trust her driving my car.
I've never seen you drive.
Yeah.
It's weird even for me to see. It's not something that I'm used
I
to
have a
seeing.
driver's license and everything,
She
y'all.
can dri-
Really?
Shée can
Yes.
drive just fine. There's a lot of people.
Oh.
I
if you
passed
don't-
my driver's test on the first try.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you don't live in Chicago, maybe you don't realize this if you don't live in a big city, but a lot of people just never learn to drive a car. And so Shée doesn't have a car, but she does know how to drive.
I learned to drive when I was 12 out of necessity.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
On the country, bro.
I kind of put it off for a while. I was kind of like, I don't know. I was scared to grow up.
Are the suspenders holding on his cape?
Well,
Doesn't look
nothing
like
is
it.
holding on any of his clothes. He's a shapeshifter. The clothes aren't real.
I think he just figured I had to wear to fit in with Earth society. I had to wear something, but I don't know exactly what. I don't really understand what humans wear, so this looks right? This looks like something.
the suit he's wearing as a police officer is just his skin.
No, I think he's wearing clothes on top. of it.
No, he's a shapeshifter.
I know he's a shapeshifter, but it doesn't preclude him from
Because
putting
look,
clothes on.
because because the woman's trapped on the bridge because the bridge is up, right?
Right.
So they can't lower it without her falling or like wrecking the car or something. So he transforms into John Jones, the Martian Manhunter.
Right, which apparently involves him experiencing an orgasm, I guess.
That's right, because he's
Like-
gay. And he and so he bridges the open bridge with his
Right.
body by making himself elongated. And
Right.
his costume elongates with him, including his cape.
Yes. So
All
that-
his clothes are him.
Well, hang on. He's adjusting the molecular structure, so it could be a fabric that he's changed.
No.
It could be.
I know. I just said he's one of my favorite DC Comics characters. I'm telling you right now, like the clothes he wears is him.
All right. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it could be clothes.
No.
I'm
right.
looking
You know-
this up. I'm trying to figure
All
this
right.
shit out too.
You know,
Yeah,
in
look at-
Chicago, when they raise the bridges, it's a big deal. Like,
They
you know,
did that to
way
us.
in advance.
Speaking of the protests, they were like, I was there when they raised the bridges to gas everybody.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
an
you-
interesting day.
Yeah, you can't just drive up there. Like, it doesn't work.
You know.
So yeah, but John transforms into Martian Manhunter. He figures out the showiest way he can think of to solve this problem by making himself huge. Like, he could have just picked her up and moved her.
I have an answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike is right.
Yep.
Damn it.
I
Damn
know
it.
him. Yep.
What clothing he
Hate
does
those
wear,
three words.
such as this super suit, is made entirely from his own molecular structure.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you go.
Because even like how he see how he's green with like a man's head and like arms and legs. That's not even what he really looks like.
Yeah, he does have that horned, hooked head.
Yeah,
That-
he's like
he's a cone head.
Yeah, on Mars he's like he looks like a freak.
He's
Like,
a horrifying monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure then. So he's always naked. Every time we're looking at him,
Yes.
he's naked.
Yes.
Yes.
And so if he loses concentration on his dick for even a second, he's just got a giant Martian penis right there.
And he is like ruthlessly psychic.
Yes, he has to actually be careful about it because that's actually usually the way they take him out is they overwhelm his psychic abilities because he's so sensitive in that way.
Because like on Mars, they don't talk to each other with their mouths.
Right.
Like it's
So-
all psychic shit.
He's a cool character. They almost arguably more than Superman, they have to take him off the board because he's so powerful.
Right.
Like, you need to figure a way to get rid of this guy. So they made him weak to fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shée?
He always seems to just want to stay on the fucking satellite anyway.
He doesn't want to engage in battle. He doesn't want a war. He's a hippie of sorts. He loves the planet. He's really sad that Mars is destroyed and his civilization is gone. He's a mellow dude, but he's incredibly powerful.
It would make sense that he's weak to fire because there wouldn't be a lot of that on Mars.
There wouldn't be yeah, exactly. There wouldn't be a lot
There's
of,
not enough oxygen for a flame to exist.
I wonder if they thought of that at the time or if it was just like somebody in the 80s realized that and went, "Oh, that's super convenient. Thank God that actually makes sense. We don't have to justify that."
Wait a second. Mars is like their civilization is destroyed.
So
So where's
yeah.
Miss Martian come from?
So his daughter?
his
Or his
his
niece?
niece sidekick.
I don't know. I think a couple people survive. Some white Martians survive because there is a racism between the white Martians and the green Martians.
Uh-huh.
She is a white Martian.
Yes.
Is she a white Martian? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, but I think the civilization is largely destroyed, but I think there are a few scattered survivors.
Right. But
So-
they're
so-
shapeshifters, so like their color kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unlike on Earth where it absolutely does matter.
It does not.
No, it never mattered. It was always stupid. What a dumb thing to hate somebody for.
It's just
God
so weird. Like
damn.
we breed together, though.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, we
Like,
create. And
biologically-
it results in beautiful children.
Biologically, if you could breed, well, actually, I guess I shouldn't say that. Biologically, if you can breed with somebody, that makes it okay. Never mind. Take that back.
Don't.
Nope, not going to say that.
Good save, everybody.
Yep. Yes, this is, got right up to the brink and then pulled it back.
Here, Martian Manhunter makes himself huge, bridges the open bridges, and she drives over his butt.
Which, again,
Yes.
is the most showy, unnecessary way to solve this problem.
He could have just flew up to her and picked the car up and flew back down.
And put it on their side. Or, like, they say they can't lower the bridge. Why? She's in neutral. Like, just slowly lower the bridge.
Yep.
Dumb.
Yep.
But yeah, so she drives over his butt. He kind of likes it. And then his assistant, his partner, Diane, I believe her name was, she comes up and says, oh, well, you're Martian Manhunter, right?
Yeah, she's the smartest person in this comic.
And he says, listen, bitch, that wasn't me. And he goes, oh, it's clearly you. You disappeared the second Martian Manhunter arrived, and then when he was gone, you showed back up.
Right. So,
Obvious.
this is the smartest person in the DC universe.
Like, maybe it wasn't
Yeah.
nepotism that got her hired. Maybe she actually knew
Right,
what she was
clearly
doing.
she's a really
Don't
good
let
detective.
her show up at fucking Gotham or Metropolis.
Yeah.
Not only did she guess, but she was hyper chill about it too.
Yeah.
She was chill about it. Yeah.
If you go back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So like here she claims later on that she's going to keep his secret identity safe, but
And then
there's
says
these
something
two.
in front of people.
Yeah, there's
She
two
blabbs
guys
about it a lot.
There's two guys right there looking at her. And she goes, "Well done, Martian Manhunter." And they're looking right at her.
She promises to keep the secret, but she can't seem to stop bringing it up.
Maybe
Like,
he
random
turned himself.
scenarios.
I think the reason why he turned super big to bridge to make a man bridge for the car to drive through is because he wanted a crowd to gather so he could scope out some guys.
It's the easiest way to kind of assess the city, assess the goods in the town.
Look at his human form. You're trying to tell me that guy's not gay?
Well,
he
he's
looks
over-
like a dude.
He looks like a guy who likes to have sex with men.
No, he doesn't.
He
Yes,
looks
he
like a very
does.
well manicured guy.
Yes, he does.
He looks like Chris Pine.
Look at that.
No, that's yeah.
Chris
I'll
Pine
take a
has
little
sex
of that.
with men.
One of your better Chris's out there, if you ask me.
He's the Manhunter.
If you ask the internet, maybe he can be Chris. Maybe Chris Pine can be Martian Manhunter in the new DC movie.
First of all, Martian Manhunter in the new DC universe is going to be a Chris, but it's going to be Chris Pratt.
Ah, shit, he gets to be that too.
Yeah. He's going to be the new Aquaman, too.
Yep.
Wow.
Apparently, that movie is so bad that
Well,
they're not going to release
hang on.
it.
They're going to release it. There are rumors that may or may not be true that the movie's super boring. So we'll see. It might be. It very well might be. I think that James Wan maybe doesn't have his heart in this one the way he did in the last one because they made it when there were so many shakeups and everything at Warner Brothers. So maybe he just didn't give that much of a shit. I don't know. We'll see.
You know, this is obviously recorded early, but last Wednesday I did a second Justice League stream, and we watched Shazam and Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like Shazam, because you told me I've seen it before, right? And I forgot, and I watched it, and it's not as good as I thought it was.
Nah,
and Black
Shazam's
Adam
great.
was probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
You say that every time you don't like,
That
especially a
was
DC
horrible.
movie.
That was horrible, dude.
Nah, it was a generic, plain superhero movie, but it
Like,
wasn't
it
that
made
bad.
zero sense. Like I'm like, what the fuck was that movie even
No,
about?
it made sense. It was just not an incredible movie.
Mike, have you ever seen the Spirit movie?
That's so bad.
That's one of the worst movies, if not
You said-
the worst movie I've ever seen.
Mike has said, you can go through this podcast and find at least a half dozen times Mike has said, given movie is the worst movie he's ever seen.
Oh man, that was bad.
Anyway, none of that matters.
No.
Point is, so he is trying to convince her that I'm not the Martian Manhunter. And then the woman he saved, the dumbass on the bridge, gives him a little token, like a little charm, like a little something that he can keep on him to remember the time that he saved this woman's life.
Mm-hmm.
And and Diane, his partner's like, here, You can give this to the Martian Manhunter, wink, wink. All right, really rubbing it
Yeah,
in.
and he's just like, you know what? There's no point in arguing with you, so I'm just not going to deny it anymore. Which
He
is
does
him
say
admitting
that.
that he's the Martian Man.
No, it is, in fairness, this is happening. That conversation is happening the next day. They're just walking down the street, and she spontaneously in public says, I'm the only one on Earth who knows who you really are. Isn't that crazy? Like, just,
yeah.
like,
He's
dude, you
yeah.
said, you promised you would be quiet about this thing.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but I got to tell my dad. He's the commissioner.
Yeah, I mean, like, he needs to know. He has to have tabs on these things. Back to
I
blue.
mean, like, Twitter isn't, like, telling anyone.
Yeah.
get
Yeah. It's not. If you're not telling anyone specifically, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're just
so
telling the world.
why does he have a secret identity? What's he
I
doing?
don't know, man.
Being a
He's
cop?
Yeah, he's a detective. He was never big on the whole superhero thing.
Because
He
like
was just-
Superman, it made sense because he was raised on Earth. And his parents were like, "You need to have a job, son." So yeah, okay, like him doing something that makes sense. But like Martian Manhunter came to Earth as an adult.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
there's a
and
sense of he doesn't have a home, so this is his adoptive home, and he wants to protect it.
Well, and in Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon, he ends up just settling down.
Yeah, just he's not the most active guy. He kind of likes to say he's a little Dr. Manhattan-y.
Well, they're like talking, and a truck randomly explodes.
A truck randomly explodes, and their biggest concern is, oh shit, we've got this statue of some war general. We got to preserve that.
Yeah, right. It's funny because like 50 years later, we were ripping that shit down.
Yeah, you got to take it down. You got to knock it down. But no, at the time, they had to preserve the statue. That's really the only thing they're worried about is the condition of the statue. So Martian Manhunter, quote, he swings by and he takes the statue away, but John Jones is still standing right there, so he can't possibly be the Martian Manhunter.
It's funny because she's right.
Right? But it turns out that it's a robot. It's a robot that he's controlling.
With his
and,
super breath, whatever the
his-
fuck that means.
They do make a point of saying, like, I'm controlling him with my super breath, and the robot has a powerful magnet in him. What? I don't understand why those two things are related.
It was at this point when I was reading it, I went, oh, they wanted to put a Superman story in here, but they couldn't use Superman.
Yeah.
They may have just had to rewrite a Superman script.
Wait,
yeah.
I don't understand. I thought he was telekinetic. Can he just control the robot with his mind?
Again, I don't understand why they mentioned the breath, and I don't understand why they mentioned that he has a magnet in him. But again,
I
people
don't
were
know.
really into magnets in the 60s. That was a big deal. The 50s
Well, the
and
magnet
60s.
because he picks up the statue, and so the magnet sticks to the statue.
You know who could really help with this problem is Zebra Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zebra Man would have been
Solve
the
this whole
perfect.
thing.
Yeah,
He's
he
the right
really,
guy.
He should have been a hero.
Yes, he would have been great in this city.
Yeah, since Martian Manhunter is looking around for a park bathroom to troll for guys.
One of those ones with the doors that are
That's
high
why
enough
all
that
the
you can see
that's why
underneath.
all
Yeah.
the police were really there. They were gonna bust it.
You know, who was it? Oh God, who was the Shée? You probably know the answer to this off the top of your head. Who was the gay musician in the 90s? British dude?
George Michael.
George Michael, yes.
yeah.
And I found out from George Michael that one of the gay tricks, if you're a scandalous gay man and you want to have scandalous anonymous sex, what you do is you take a couple of bags, like shopping bags, and you take them into the in the stall with you, and you put them down, and you have your random anonymous sex partner come in, and one of you stands with your feet in the bags, so that if anyone comes in and looks under and suspects that maybe there's some gay sex going on in the bathroom, they look under the door and they just see one set of feet, and then they see two sets. They see two shopping bags, and they don't have any reason to think there's a second guy in there having sex.
That's smart.
It is smart. Like, I mean, I don't know why this is specifically a gay thing. I guess men are just far more likely to want to do weird shit like that.
You answer your own question, dog.
I mean, I guess there's no reason you couldn't do that with a woman, but like in a men, you
They're
get to
less
sneak the woman in
likely.
the men's room. Yeah. It's a weird thing, but yeah, well, this is what we had to figure out. It's nothing to
Good
do
for
with being
George
gay,
Michael
I guess.
living his best life.
Yeah. I mean, I think it ruined his career, but you know,
I
other than
mean,
that.
nowadays he'd be praised for it.
Yeah, who
For being
cares?
fucking based.
I don't really care. Yeah, whatever. That's what
Based
bathrooms
George
are for, aren't they?
Michaels.
Yeah, whatever.
Writing kick-ass songs.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine
Wasn't
with
he
me.
in, what was it? What was it?
Wasn't he
what's up-
Wham? He was in
yeah,
Wham.
Yeah, he was in Wham. Yeah, permanent stubble.
Yeah. So anyway, so who's this other dude? There's a random criminal in the crowd, completely unrelated to everything else that's just happened, and he's running away because the police want to catch him, but they don't want to do the work, so they tell John Jones to get him instead.
Yeah, go get him, you.
Go get him. And yeah, sure. And so just without any proof, without knowing what the situation is, John Jones starts running down this crook who pulls out a gun and shoots John Jones.
And all the police officers who are watching him do it look horrified. They just got
Oh
their
man,
friend-
good thing it
friend
wasn't
killed.
us. It was good thing it wasn't us, even though we're wearing body armor and he wasn't. But hey, so John Jones gets right back up. He's fine. He's fine. He knocks out the crook. Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
And Diane says, "Well, clearly you're Martian Manhunter." He goes, "No. You see that charm that I got from that dumbass on the bridge? It's right here. The bullet caught it. I got very lucky." But he's lying.
If he's trying not to get caught as a Martian, right? He could have transformed himself into be a normal human superhero and called himself the Earth Manhunter.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily even need a secret identity. Just
Man, why did he out himself like that as a Martian?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't have done that.
Superman doesn't call himself the Kryptonian.
No, he doesn't.
He's Superman. Like, as far as we know,
right.
He talks about coming from Kansas.
He did go to Reporter and tell everyone he's from another planet, though. He did tell everybody.
He does. Well,
But you can't dissect his ass.
No, just try. Just go ahead and try.
Yeah,
so
apparently what happens is he tells the lady that the charm he got from the woman on the bridge is what deflected the bullet, but then really though he just bent it with his thumb,
which is pretty sweet.
Yep. And now she doesn't think he's Martian Manhunter anymore, and now they're dating.
I guess the mountain of evidence to the contrary has been refuted because you've got this broken charm.
Yep, and he is now he's now grooming his very young partner.
And that's the book. That's how it ends.
Luckily, he's really gay.
He's super gay, so it's not going to be a problem.
Nope. It will be because she likes him.
Well, he might try. They still might get married. Like that happened a lot.
It sure did.
Like he's just like, dude, I need to put on a good public face.
What better than the commissioner's daughter, right?
Dude, let's just do it. Let's do it. Like whatever. You can sneak out the back door. We don't care.
Right, if he gets caught at the local park, during a raid, the commissioner won't want his son-in-law to be arrested, right?
I guess it's super common in Japan to get married just with no love between you, but just because professionally, if you want to get your job and you want to keep your job and you want to get a promotion, you have to be seen as a family man. Mm-hmm. And so it's just really common for people to get married out of convenience, and it's not even really expected that you necessarily love your partner. It's weird.
Instead of building a robot that control with magnets and super breath, why didn't he just reach into her mind and just make her think that he wasn't Martian Manhunter?
Well, I think that'd be more invasive.
Yeah, that's all he had to do.
Well, he could either
Jedi mind tricker,
Jedi mind tricker, or he could just a little harmless gaslighting. Never hurt anybody.
No, I'm not.
Nah, it's not me, bitch.
He goes, well, I'm not green.
Your rods and cones messed up, bitch. I'm not green.
Yeah, right. Send your ass back to the academy. Well, I gotta find myself some good-looking boys.
So, in a group environment of zebras, they call it a harem. Right. Like their environment is called a harem.
I thought it was a dazzle. Oh.
No, that's the group. But the actual environment that they live in, it's called a harem. And there's usually a single dominant male zebra who tries to protect the entire harem.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I'm the dominant zebra.
I'm going to be the dominant zebra. Mm-hmm. That's the end of the comic.
All right.
I had fun with this. What do you guys think?
Too. I like this book.
Yeah. Shea, what'd you think?
This book was boring.
Really? You didn't like
this?
No
fun. Come on.
I have to say,
I was very bored the entire time.
I have to say, a non-Joker / mobster / mad scientist villain, kind of. No Joker at all, even, actually. That's very rare. Decently believable science, enough so. Colorful backup characters. This was actually good. I enjoyed this.
All I want is crazy bullshit, and I got it.
It was crazy bullshit, but grounded with enough to keep it engaging. It's not as bad as some of the later Silver Age stuff would get. I like this. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 magnetically repelled turkey dinners. You're missing out so much on that. That stuff was so tasty. What
Poor
a loss.
Batman. He's so hungry.
He just wanted that turkey dinner.
My favorite part is the imaginary tales of Martian Manhunter's deviant sex life.
Always carries 2 bags of shopping around with him, just in case.
He's just at bondage clubs, just hanging out.
I mean, I'm sure he could, with his shape-shifting, he could put something together for himself. He doesn't even need a second person.
Dude, with his shape-shifting, imagine how many dicks he could fit in his ass.
Does he have a butthole?
Yeah, he can make one. He can make a butt. He can make 10 buttholes.
Wow, oh man, he would set some records.
He could pleasure all the men
He
at
just
the
had-
bondage club.
Buttholes running all the way down his crack.
Jesus
Bro, he could-
Christ, he just makes himself into a koosh ball and everybody sticks it in.
He
Jesus.
could fill up everyone's other people's holes perfectly as well with his
Yeah.
shapeshifting abilities. That's
He
why
could just-
that's why Sue Storm married Reed Richards.
His entire body just dicks and buttholes.
Yeah, right. He's a
Wow.
Martian,
That's what he yells in the middle of his.
and you
weird
can
orgies.
unload into him too without. And then
Yeah,
he
you
and
can't
then
impregnate him.
You know, it's funny. You could just everyone ejaculates in him, and then he like just moves it through his body and empties it out through his foot.
That's a party trick where he just squeezes himself and he wrings it all out into a glass.
Martian
glad-
Manhunter fucking rules.
I'm glad this is at the end of the episode, where only the people who are already committed got to this. I
God.
don't want people. I don't want the 10-minute crowd hearing this. at the beginning of the-
They know, bro. The pea shorts. They know. We made 2 different pea shorts.
We have made some pee videos.
Don't say it that way.
We did.
Oh, okay. We should talk about next time.
Yep. Let's talk about
So,
next
I
time.
think-
Do we
I
have
think we're
anything
just gonna-
special we're supposed to do? We just spinning.
I don't think we have anything special, no, unless anybody has something in mind.
Yeah, we can.
We just got the
spin it.
big wheel, the biggest
Yeah.
wheel of all, with
The
all
biggest-
sorts of.
It's gotten bigger.
It's got Phase 1 phasers. It's got Trencher and Metamorpho. It's got I Dream of Genie, one I don't want to come up. I suspect it's going to be awful. So,
Why did you just say that?
so it's definitely going to be I Dream of Genie. I don't know.
I want that weird Jack Kirby continuity comic. What
I
is
want Billy
that?
Ray Cyrus.
I don't want Billy Ray Cyrus.
You
I
know
want
what I'm talking
anything
about?
Jack Kirby.
What was that?
There's
What-
a lot of. Are you talking about Captain? It was Captain Mystery and the something something.
Yeah.
Captain Victory. Captain
Yeah,
Victory and the Galactic Rangers.
Yeah, I want that.
I would love that too. Whoa.
That's my
Or
hope.
we still have to just obey the wheel? Is that still the?
No,
That's-
we're doing whatever the wheel lands on.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't
okay.
disobey the wheel.
All right. Well, let's listen to some spinning music while we do it.
All right.
Wheel turning round and round, you go back.
Wow. Weird this hasn't popped up yet already.
Yeah. Steely Dan, do it again. You know, I think I hate Steely Dan.
All
That's
right.
fair.
I think I hate. They're just like the quintessential classic rock band that has chops and they have great production and they have zero fucking soul.
I don't hate Steely Dan. I think they're fine.
I'm
They have
okay
nothing,
with them.
nothing interesting to say, I don't think. But they
Yeah.
do have a song about spinning.
I bet my dad really likes Steely Dan.
Every dad likes Steely Dan.
I bet.
Which is weird because they're so jazzy. Like a lot of 6-minute songs and
Steely Dads.
Is this yacht rock?
no, I'd say it's too jazzy, but I guess we can look into that. Steely Dads would be a great cover band though.
It would
Yeah,
be.
a bunch of dads doing
Yeah, a bunch
Steely
of
Dan
dads
Yes.
like
songs.
Steely Dan. All right, well let's spin to it. Let's see what we got. I'm holding my breath on this.
What
one.
could it
I'm very
possibly
scared.
be?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
what the fuck?
Yes!
Wow.
Sweet merciful crap.
Wow.
Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers. This is something
See,
I
this
wanted.
is why we don't go against the fucking wheel.
Now this is two episodes in a row where people are going to think we're bullshitting. This is really what came up.
That
There were
is freaky.
Fucking
36
release the
items.
video, James.
That
yeah,
is
I have the
freaky.
video.
Release the
36.
James cut.
Yes. 36 entries on this list. It came up with Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers. I do think I didn't select the issue. I think this was one where I put on the wheel years ago. I was like, it's never going to come up, so I didn't settle on what issue. But the note I made was weird Kirby book, no specific issue. James could pick one. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Has weird New Gods tie-in. It's not DC. It's not the New Gods. But there's actually a character in there that is clearly meant to be Darkseid. So
Hey,
it's kind of
that's us.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
maybe
us.
I'll look at that. There were only like 13 issues, so I'll look at that. I'll pick an issue. If you're watching the YouTube, you'll see it right now. We'll put the cover up of what issue that we selected. Unless you just want to pick one. Do we just want to pick one?
No, you could pick. You could pick.
I'll look
Yeah.
into it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
find
yeah.
one that's a good representation of what we're
Okay.
doing. But that was like about 1981. So this was a few years after the New Gods had ended, or at least Kirby's run in the New Gods had ended at DC. And I guess he wanted to kind of keep the lineage going, but he didn't have the rights, so he just kind of made it up with new characters.
What are the odds that this
Well, 1 in
landed on this
36.
after I just said it. I just said that
Yeah.
this is the one I want. How is this possible?
This is
I
2
got
weeks in a row that
Zebra
you got what you
Batman
wanted, yeah.
After we said that, after we mentioned that, and now we got this. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm very excited about this, though. I always love when we
Yeah.
get to do some Kirby.
No one's gonna believe that. This is even more proof that I'm lying to everyone on Twitter.
Yeah,
What
you
the
haven't
fuck?
established a good reputation. But
I
it is
swear to
absolute-
God. I swear to
this is-
God, it's random.
This is legit. No, this absolutely did
Dude.
happen. All right. Yeah, so check out the YouTube to see what issue we're going to do. I'm sure we'll put it on Twitter. or
And we're
something as well.
returning to Continuity Comics. We're going back.
Was it continuity?
I think this is Continuity Comics.
I don't think it's continuity. I thought it was. No, it's PC.
Oh God,
something.
fucking snowflakes.
God, yeah. Captain Woke and the Galactic Rangers.
It's yeah, this is
Dude.
stupid. All right.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. I love this show. Fucking A, dude.
All right. Well, that's
That's so-
really good. I can't wait. That's going to be a lot of fun. Shée, do you have some plugs for the end of the show here?
Sure. Find our other Batman episodes on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever the hell
23
you're
of them.
using to listen to us right
More
now.
than that.
23 of them, guys.
Actually,
Holy-
technically more because we did some two-parters and he shows up in some other things. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dozens of them.
But still, yeah. Or subscribe to us on darksidescouch.com and listen to us there as well. And subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Darksides Couch, all one word. And I love you.
Nice.
Wow, nice. Okay, that's it. Anybody got any final comments before we get out of here?
Make sure to follow me on Twitch at SantaHules for Wednesday Night Fun.
Shée.
I love you.
That's all for now, Christian Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
So, where'd this hot tip come from, John?
A source.
Well, I think I know your secret.
You do?
The tips you get from out of the blue, those hunches of yours that always turn out to be right.
You are gay. You are gay. You are a homosexual. The opposite of straight. You're gay.
Something like that.